Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello there, welcome back to Geeking Out. I'm yours truly, the Dave Boxer here with the boys, Don frickin' Prime, and of course, frickin' Aries is back, baby.
It's so good to hear that music. I always think of the Macho Man, Randy Savage, brother, when I hear your intro.
Savage!
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, man.
No, I can't do it.
Oh man, yo, you know how many people kept asking me, yo, what is Aries coming? Where is Aries coming? When Nate give us it was the McCartney cut, which that's not gonna happen anymore, but I'll do sequels, and then they're asking about Aries, like McCartney cut and Aries. What's happening?
Is it possible that I am in the house? And I say yes.
Yeah, yo. And speaking of look at my freaking Mando. I left him like this last night. He must have drank some Bacardi's last night when I wasn't looking. He's like, yeah. Oh man.
Oh, those two look bad together, man. I love it.
Oh, yeah, man. Roll call. But yo, bro, it's good to have you back in here, man.
Good to be in here, man. It's been crazy. You know, dealing with some personal stuff, getting thrown at me here and there and all that. But it's all good. It's working out. And you know, it could always be worse. But now things are getting better. But I'm hyped up because things are getting better. So let's go.
Yeah, man. Yes. Speaking of freaking better, man. Have you seen the new pre-order just popped up, bro?
Come on, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Listen, why couldn't they give us why couldn't they make the magnetic pack on the freaking, as you would say, 40th anniversary Boba Fett? If they just made that change on either one of them. Man, I love these magnetic packs that they have, and this one comes with another magnetic pack as well. I don't miss those hooks. That come on the Boba, bro. But man, this is sick.
Oh yeah,
this is sick.
Mm-hmm. It is freaking sick. I'm actually surprised they came out this early already. But the only thing I'm also surprised about, they didn't want to throw in some teases for Wrecker or the rest of the gang. At the moment, it's just Hunter and Echo right now. Yeah,
Hunter and Echo. Hunter.
Hey, these are the two guys that the three of us were thinking a couple months ago that they were going to come out with first anyway, and here we go. We're sitting here. I thought it was going to be Hunter before Echo, but whatever.
Yeah, that face sculpt is insane, but I'm the armor. Actually, with the way that Hunter is set up, his armor is essentially clone commando armor, and his helmet is a modified phase 2. You know, we have a clone commando incoming. They just need to design a new helmet as well. I mean, because that is clone armor, and the clone backpack. That's the clone rifle. That could be converted. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna get a clone commando. It might be a video game exclusive version, or something like that. But yeah, after Hunter, this is confirmation. They already have the armor for commandos.
Mm-hmm.
So
now here's the thing. Someone just brought up Penny. He's like, aren't the Boba hooks accurate to the movie? It is. They are accurate to the movie, but I that's the one thing I would not. I would be okay not being 100% accurate. Is the damn hooks. Just like, I don't know. There got to be a way where you can still apply the hooks.
Magnetize it.
Yeah.
But no, you magnetize it, but you still have the flaps on the back, except they're not hooks, and you just feed them into slots to make it appear like they're hooked in.
Exactly. Because they do. It's kind of, they have a magnetic piece in there, but it's so faint. It's hardly noticeable when I use that. So they can still have it to be, film accurate, I guess, to want to be able to have it hooked on. Although really, I don't even remember, when I see, Boba Fett in, The Empire Strikes Back, if I'm really noticing those hooks, but probably when it's, maybe leaning off, you noticed it, but have that magnetic piece in there so it sticks on, and then you can have that stuff too. It would have been great, but I'm loving it with all these new ones that we don't have that. I mean, it's like with the Beskar Mando, it's sweet, man. It's sweet to have that magnetic. Just pop it on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you pose that next to Rex. Like when they're on the well, I don't want to give spoil. Well, can we? That was
last week. You can say last episode. Yeah, so it was like the last episode last week. There was enough time for the spoil.
Yeah, exactly.
Like spoiler talk.
You definitely could do a display scene when you got him and Rex next to each other on the when they're outside shooting the crap before they get discovered. Yeah, like that would be a perfect display scene, or even him and Echo just out there.
Dude, these Don, I mean, the paintwork on this figure. I mean, man, it looks really. I thought they did a really good job on the paintwork on here, and I almost was going to go back to take a look at Echo. I'm sure it's just as good, but
I love the battle scarness of this one. Like I love the the freaking white scar on the right side of his helmet. I think left side. This left side. Yeah, left side of his helmet. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely the around the especially where the corners are and the markings and the shifting planes. You can see like you're saying, you can see the different layers of paint. You can see battle marks. You can see indentations in it where it's just been repainted over. There's depth in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Charlie Sheen. Yeah, there's so many different characters this guy is running for with Hunter. We got Billy from Predator. We got Charlie Sheen. We got Rambo.
Well, Charlie Sheen was supposed to be a spoof of Rambo.
Yeah, you could throw in a Karate Kid in there too, then.
Karate Kid. Oh my God, Karate Kid.
Ralph Macchio.
Oh my God, man! Speaking of Karate Kid, I'm loving the brand new seasons with Cobra Kai. I think I can't wait for the new one where they're gonna bring back one of the old villains again for another season.
Oh, I love that series. Yeah.
But here's the thing though. A lot of people are talking about this. Are we gonna get the whole team? Are we gonna get the gang? The freaking Delta Squad, the Delta Squad in the future, we might see that too. But I'm talking about the Bad Batch. Are we going to get the whole team? Hot Toys has done this before, where they just made one or two characters from a film or a show, and they never went back to it, or they never completed the entire gang. So.
Yeah, you're seeing where these are moving. You're seeing how high this Hunter is right now, and where how good Echo did, baby, and Echo how good he did when people were really looking for something different, right? Or hoping for something else during that time, during the May 4th week. But I think we're going to get the whole team. I think we're going to get Wrecker. I really do. As long as people are pre-ordering these, why not? I mean, I was saying for a while, honestly, that I really thought that we have so many like stormtroopers from the original trilogy, and it's nice to just see a lot of these clones start. I still want to see some of the clones from the Clone Wars. I want to see the 212th they already teased. I want to see that airborne trooper. Not just the Coruscant guard that's up, but I really do. I really think that they can release this whole squad. Now, if these were like performing like the Blurg, I don't know if we'd get the whole squad, but I don't see any reason. I mean, I think that these will just sell.
They should be able to sell pretty well. Especially since it is Clone Wars, and a lot of people favor. I think Hot Toys is seeing that there is a market for Star Wars, especially with the Bad Batch and the Clone Wars and Mandalorian on that same little circle. right? And it's there's no reason for them to jump into sequel trilogy when it's not making money for them. They could just focus on what's going on with this little group of figures that's or not, this group of media for Star Wars, and it's booming. It's literally booming. So I can see them doing. I just wish we saw a tease of the entire team. You know what I mean? At least with Hunter. You would think that they probably they would have thrown in Wrecker or maybe Tech or what's the other one with the sniper? I keep forgetting his name.
Crosshairs.
Yeah, Crosshairs.
Yeah, but the thing is, are they going to do Crosshairs in his normal arm, in his in his Bad Batch armor, or in his in his new armor?
That's a thing though. I don't think they can do not body swaps, but armor swaps for that. So I don't think we are gonna get the new Imperial look. It's probably just gonna be regular Crosshair. I doubt. Now, if Hunter had a moment where he became an Imperial look, then yeah, possibly. But I don't see Crosshair getting another look or another release.
Yeah, they can do a lot with this, actually. They could just release one after the other. They can be like, hey, you know what? People are going to want to get the whole set, with this Clone Force. They could release, another one. Like let's say, they release one and then they're like, hey, you know what? You want the rest of these or you want these couple of others? Here's a 2-pack. They can do something like that where you're like, yeah, I want to get the whole thing. I think I'll go ahead and do that and I'll buy that. Who knows? But I think with the success of both of these, and this one looks sick. Look, you have to wonder how easy it is to work with Temuera Morrison, because they're going to come out with like how many of these, head sculpts and likeness of him, and he's obviously signing off and probably really, happy to be working with Disney in this. So, yeah, I don't see it's happening.
I'm happy. I'm actually happy with what's going on with Temuera Morrison, because Temuera Morrison, no, come here. Sorry, my bird just came. Hello, say hello.
Hey, look at that.
Our adopted wild bird.
How you doing, Jimmy?
You gotta get it to talk. You gotta get it to say, are you out of your mind?
Are you out of your mind?
Come on, Jimmy.
Okay, go, Jimmy, go. Be free, Jimmy. Be free. Now, actually, we try to make him go free. He just keeps coming back. Like, no, you're my family. No, it's not. The outside is not my home. This is my home. All right. Yeah, out of your mind. That'd be hilarious. That'd be great, man. But yes, I want my bird. Yes, I want my bird. Okay, there's a couple of comments here that I spotted too. I want my bird. Yeah, the daddies are back, baby. Yes, Aries, Nate, the dads are back. Everyone thought like we were breaking up. I was like, no, what you talking about? What you talking
about? So crazy. You got work. I got work. We have issues here, issues there. But you know what? Nothing's going to keep us apart, man. We're here. This whole community. Here we go.
Yes. The dads are back. Okay, everyone's back. All right. So yeah, everybody's excited for the team up again. What's up, Nate, Don, Aries? What's up? What's up, bros? How you doing? Man, a lot of comments. But okay, as far as like a collection tour is concerned, I mean, maybe when I'm able to pull. Damn it! I pulled the gun fell off. No, not like this. Not like this. You see, this is why I didn't want to post.
Listen, Mando saying you're out of your mind.
You out of your mind with this gun. I'll probably do.
Bacardi and guns don't mix.
Bacardi and guns don't mix, baby. The last night was hilarious with the Bacardis, man. Freaking OG fan.
I didn't get to watch it yet. You guys know why, but yeah, yes. I can't wait. Yo, I saw the picture and I was like, oh, there we go.
Yes. OG fan, man. He hit me over the $4 super chat. Like, bruh, take 5 shots now. After I just had 2 glasses of Bacardi and Coke. I had the mic. You see, here. Let me show you something real quick. Just real quick. I have not left this table cleaned after what happened, so I still got the stuff. I drank one of these. I drank 2 glasses of this. I was like, what else did I do here? Oh my god. Okay, here's the Bacardi still here, you know. Doctor, tell me the news. I got a bad case of loving you. So true story. But yeah, let's go back. Let's get back to Hunter.
Listen, I got to do the same thing with some coffee. I think I'll bring some coffee out in a future video and have all these coffee grinds and who knows.
The coffee grind. Jimmy is the bird. Jimmy's the bird. Everybody talk about Jimmy. Hunter announcement with the sixth Hot Toy Morrison head sculpt. Yeah, that's the thing though. I think Hot Toys they're seeing a freaking trend with the Temuera Morrison head sculpt. Like everyone's loving that head sculpt, so it makes sense. They're just gonna keep pumping this head sculpt. If it's a clone trooper or a Boba Fett, throw in the head sculpt.
Yeah, I mean, this looks sweet when you have up on the screen. I mean, I was looking at this. I mean, they did a really, really good job of, not only capturing, what's in, the animated series, but really Temuera Morrison here with this head sculpt. They're keeping true to, what they've been doing so far anyway with the Clone Wars figures. Man, this looks sweet, man. I mean, it looks really, really good. They did a good job with this.
Yeah, I'm actually happy for Temuera Morrison because the thing is, like, he's now immortalized in the fandom.
Yeah.
Because
sure.
Dude, like freaking George Lucas was looking for the perfect soldier, the perfect specimen for his clone army, and he picked you, Temuera Morrison, to pick you as the perfect soldier for his clone army. Like George Lucas was Count Dooku, and he picked you.
I mean, yeah. I really do. I really think that they're going to come out with the whole squad. I really see it. The way that these are performing and the way that this is performing. And I mean, they're sweet too. And, especially for, fans like us, but people that really troop build too. I mean, this has got to be a dream to be coming out with this. But now you're going to want, I'd like to see, like I mentioned before, some of the other clone troopers, get released. And I think that they're going to come to, you're seeing it with some of these stormtrooper, Mandalorian figures, that are coming out. And I know the Mandalorian is what's out, but I think they're going to come out with them, especially when they're seeing how good these are doing.
Yeah, I don't see a Captain Rex just yet for Bad Batch. Like, the Captain Rex we have, he didn't show off much in the actual episode with Captain Rex. The only thing he had was like a cloak, and I'm like, you can grab the cloak from Ahsoka and give it to him. So really, we don't really need a Captain Rex for Bad Batch because he didn't bring enough for the episode to merit one.
Conspiracy theory, the reason for the delay is we're going to get a cloak.
Well, are they going to come out with this like every year? Like they're going to come out with this? They're going to have another season next year, right? Of the
don't know. Nothing's been confirmed.
If they do, I could see Rex. Another version of Rex as early as next year. If they wind up doing that for season 2.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those weird things. Like all the big name stuff on Disney Plus, whether it's Marvel or Star Wars, aside from like Mando, it's all like mini series or like one series limited runs. So, I don't know. I mean, like Clone Wars, they did it just to finish the series up because they had like all the animatics done and they actually had all the voice work recorded for season 7 before it got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I could see it going either way, but don't be surprised if this is it. This is basically, and it's going to lead into a different series, which I think, potentially will happen 10 years down the line, and you'll see the Kamino Uprising. I think that's going to be a whole different show.
Yeah, they could either go that way, or they can kind of build up into that, though. Kind of like what they're doing with The Mandalorian, keeping that series going and kind of keeping that timeline pushing forward. So maybe... I hope they have that. I hope they do this again next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it'd be hard to push 10 years, especially with the clones. So.
Yeah, and then also, now if we're gonna get another Rex, like it's gonna have to be Phase 1. it's going to be having Phase 1 Rex. Like, why make another Phase 2 Rex? Might as well just make a Phase 1 Rex from the first season of Clone Wars.
Well, everybody who's picking up this Rex is going to pick that one up, and the people that are going to wind up missing out on this for whatever reason, everybody knows it's up on pre-order, and everybody knows what's going on with that figure. But yeah, I mean, that's what I say about the heavy infantry Mandalorian too. I mean, for all I know, they're just going to whip up on us that same one and say, "Here you go," without any differences. But I think it's a great opportunity. It's change a little bit of paint, make it a little bit different, kind of like the difference between, the vintage color Boba Fett and from ESB and the regular one. Kind of do that. The same thing with the animated Fett and the Return of the Jedi one. We do that.
The whip, just keep the blue and just work the red and right on the Boricua heavy trooper over here. and then the freaking mini gun is an actual Bacardi bottle. Once it's a Bacardi bottle.
Aries said pre-order, Nate take a shot.
I'm not tonight, guys. I gotta stay sober for the boys today. Okay. If you guys were able to pop in yesterday, then yeah. But I can't. Not tonight, guys. Not tonight. But I love to. I love to.
So Nate, let me ask you this: What do you think about them just putting this out now? Because some people were speculating, hey, they're going to do this at that convention that's coming up. The name's escaping me, but it's coming up here in like a few weeks. Yeah. Like, are you surprised? Because I was thinking they were going to do a couple of things like this. We can't just, I think they're going to release figures at some of these events, but they're just going to come out with these kind of like that Ahsoka, that Ahsoka Deluxe. They just came out with it.
Well, I mean, the last one they did was in Anaheim. Obviously, they didn't have anything last year, but I think it's only on a 2-year schedule anyway, like Celebration, but the big Disney event. In 2019, they had the Hottoys Captain. They had basically the prototype EndGame Captain America. And the thing is, that as a figure is completely different to the general, to the one that they did the general release of. So, I don't know. They might tease figures or announce figures there, but I would not hold my breath on them actually having physical figures in stock.
I was thinking the same thing, actually. I was thinking that. I was thinking the same thing you're saying.
So, I mean, and I'll tell you, like, I was on the phone with Sideshow, which, quick shout out, they've taken care of me on a few different things amazingly. So, they get a lot of guff, but their customer service is awesome. They don't even know if they're going to be going to Comic-Con in New York, even though it was announced as live. So, like a lot of the exclusives, a lot of, announcements, a lot of that stuff is still also in the air depending on where these retailers, if, when, and how they're going to attend these events. So, there might be plans, but until someone says yes, those are on, hold. So.
Another thing I wanted to say is that I think we're probably going to get a lot of what we got with Lando, with Hottoys. Not a lot, but like those surprise releases for pre-orders, kind of like what they did with Lando. I think we're probably going to see that, unfortunately, with Bespin Han and Bespin. Well, they already showed off Bespin Luke. But
yeah, twice.
Twice. But they never showed off Bespin Lando. They never showed off Bespin Han. So we're probably gonna get one, pop up that way in the future, like that. Like out of nowhere, big surprise. And this one, it was not a big surprise. It was just how early it was released for pre-order. Because I honestly thought that we were probably going to get this more towards the end of Bad Batch, maybe.
Now, I potentially here's something I just thought of. Potentially Hot Toys could do as a release. Now, you remember every once in a while they do a diorama setup. They had the Iron Man Mark III. It was like the half the suit, but it included like the crane, all the power accessories. Now, what if Hot Toys did something and took like a page out of Sideshow's book, where they actually make Han and Carbonite, but they do it where it actually they give you like a Jabba base or like the actual wall to put it in. Something like that, as almost a diorama piece.
That'd be sweet, man. That'd be a coffee spiller.
Coffee spiller. That'd be a freaking coffee spiller.
You know, anytime you're talking Han in the original trilogy, especially something like that, Han and Carbonite, and you know the backdrop there of Jabba's palace and that type of thing. Man,
Yeah,
I mean that would be sweet.
Yeah, and they technically don't need to get the likeness rights or the approval from Harrison Ford for that. So
no.
Hell, if we get the Carbonite Han before we actually get Bespin Han, I'm gonna be out of my mind. I mean, are you out of your freaking mind, Hottoys? Are you out of your freaking mind?
I'll take any Han at this point.
No, I'll be mad, bro. Hell, man. You rather just throw us Lobot than a freaking Carbonite Han before Bespin Han.
Listen, we've talked about this in the last few months, and I don't think anyone's brought it up. But you're talking about Han and Carbonite at Jabba's palace. What about that Leia Bouche outfit with the freaking helmet and then with a head sculpt on there? I mean, Leia goes crazy in the secondary market.
Yeah, I would love to get her versus the Bespin Leia. Like, if we had to get... Well, I haven't picked up any of the Bespin... I haven't picked up Bespin Leia. I have not picked up the Return of Jedi Leia in her jungle outfit. But I would pick up Bosch or Leia, and then then Ewok Princess Leia. You know, with her Princess Ewok look. Yes, I would like to pick up that one from the end of Return of Jedi.
About that figure. So apparently the Ewoks had to eat someone that was the same height and could fit in the same dress that Leia could. They just magically had a dress laying around. Just food for thought, literally.
Why you keep bringing that up, bro? Why do you keep bringing that up,
Ewoks are vicious little bastards.
Okay, Lane Kramer, what you doing, bro? What you doing? Okay, hey, if he cannot loses the Gundam hat and switches to that big headset he wore other week, he needs to reborn as Radio Lobot. Oh, the Radio Lobot look or Lobot look. Let me see. There you go.
DJ
I got a Lobot. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's DJ Lobot.
DJ Lobot, Radio Lobot. But Kramer, he hit me up with another question the other day, and he wanted to talk about it in the stream. Okay, have you guys noticed that old boy Quill is just what, $5? Yeah, let me see. Was it $5 more? It's either $5 more or $5 less than Hunter pre-order. Have you guys noticed that?
I heard. I think.
Yeah, it's $250 is the retail, and then Quill's $245 for just.
I think Lane was telling me that as well. I just might have found that out the last day or two. I didn't look yet, but
yeah, we'll probably I'm going to bring it up right now because that's kind of strange. Because Quill, he's just a small dude.
Hunter doesn't have that many accessories, but what he does have is he has the head sculpt, which is insane. Which you'd figured that with that head sculpt, he'd come out at around Echo's price, $280 to $295. Just based on that head sculpt. But he's $250. Quill's only is $245, and that's a whole new armor setup again for Hunter. His chest panel is not reg armor; it's clone commando armor. His knee pads are clone commando. His gauntlets and such, they're clone commando. So again, that's a whole new mold as well. So. Yeah, that's that weird thing. I mean, unless this is one of those issues where they had to pay likeness rights because it's based on, Nick Nolte, and you can see it in the face. And that might have something to do with it too.
Yeah, a lot. The community is kind of in half about the pricing on Quill, because Quill, some people are saying that the Quill is right for the price, for the figure, as far as the new body, the head sculpt, because this is a brand new body. They can't grab another body like this. The only one that'll probably come close to this is Rocket, but Rocket, that's all sculpted up. They can't really grab Rocket's body and put it with this one. This is a brand new piece, and some people saying that it merits the price, and others saying it's just too small for $245. This should have been at least $200.
Yeah, I was kind of. I thought the sweet spot for this figure, and someone brought it up, and I forget who. In the chat actually on one of the live shows I had when this came out, that 225 was the sweet spot. I kind of agree. I think that this would have been a non-issue if it was like 220, 225. Not a whole lot of people would have talked about it, but 245 is kind of steep. Now, I will say, I think, Don, you bring up a great point about maybe because of Nick Nolte that they had to, maybe put a little bit more in here cost-wise for licensing or something like that, some extra fees that they had to absorb. The other thing is, this head sculpt is also like fantastic. That I don't know how much work that it cost them to develop, to engineer that supposed articulated jaw. And that's kind of, when you're dealing with something this small, maybe very, very intricate, and they probably didn't want to make it cheap, so that the first time you try it, it just kind of breaks. Maybe they didn't want to make it as fragile, like that little strap that comes with the Mandos. You kind of stick that pin in it for the gun, and then it can. You got to be real careful with it. I don't know. Like you said, maybe it has pistons in there, Don, or something. It could be something with the engineering of the head.
Also, it is articulated head as well.
Yeah.
Jaw, articulated jaw. So that's the only thing I'm having an issue with, is the articulated jaw, because after what we witnessed with the articulated jaw in Grogu, like, I wonder if that's going to suffer the same fate as Quill's articulated jaw.
Well, let me ask you this: if they didn't articulate the jaw, what does that take the price down? $10, $15? Let's say $15. Then what's the price of Quill without articulated jaw?
I think it will be about, possibly, if they didn't do the articulated jaw, and the engineering work they had to go through to make that happen, it'll probably be about what, 230 at that point.
225, 230. I think maybe that's a big part of it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, I feel that 245 is okay. Like, I'm not too worried about 245, because at this point I'm buying the Quill with the damn blurg anyway. So, and also going to be throwing a freaking $25 coupon on top of that, because Sideshow just keeps throwing me $25 coupons. I got to use it somewhere. So I'm not too mad about the price. But yeah, I do understand, someone that's coming in, without a $25 coupon to bring down the price a bit more, from $245. Then yeah, I do get it. Like, yeah, it's kind of high for a figure this size to be $245.
But on the other side of the token, that price for Hunter, I was looking at that today and really taking a look at everything that Hunter came with. And I think that's a pretty good price for that Hunter. And everything that comes with. I think it comes with 3 weapons. I think it comes with 2 blasters, if I remember, and a vibro, some blade. It has the magnetic, backpack, that he wears, and all that paint and weathering. I kind of dig that price, actually, for everything that they did. It made me kind of wonder a little bit. You got Bo-Katan for $285, and then they give you this Hunter for, what is it, $250?
$250, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't get a chance really to go back and look at Bo-Katan to see what's the $35 difference, but they put a lot of work into that Hunter figure.
But yeah, that's the thing, though. I think that a lot of people are looking at that as well. They're kind of like, okay, so it was so between Quill and then Hunter's just a $5 difference. I think really is that articulated jaw that's really putting up the price up on Quill. But the thing is, Quill's apparently is cheaper over there, but over at HK. But yet, I'm guessing because of the the shipping and the taxes that come over here. But yet, in order for Sideshow to make their cut, Quill is probably a little higher over there compared to the other figures about his size that were sold over there. They did the same. Sideshow did the same thing with Rocket. Such a small figure for that price. So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, and part of the thing is too, this might be only like a one-time use mold. You know, unless they're gonna do something insane and do Empire Strikes Back Ugnaughts. You know, with the whole damaged C-3PO, something like that. So it's just again. But the thing is, if they didn't do the articulated mouth, then would we still have gotten a second head sculpt, and would they have charged the same amount, or would then it would have been $250? You know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I find it hilarious. You know, I'm not complaining about the price, but I know there's people out there that were, you know, kind of surprised about the price. But I find it hilarious that everybody was asking for a quill, and then you finally get it. Like, oh my god, the price! No, not like this. Not like this. I want the quill, but the price, though.
Well, and the thing is with Hunter, especially, Hot Toys probably has a special deal with Temuera Morrison on likeness rights, because basically it's like, oh yeah, by the way, every clone, it's you. It's just variations. So, you know, he's probably got a special deal with them where they just pay him a flat yearly fee now, or it's not per figure. It's just a basic general fee. You know, whereas like Robert Downey Jr., every sculpt he gets is based on whatever armor or appearance it's based off of. He gets a specific fee for that. So he's, you know, they're probably paying him decent money every year or every quarter, and he's just like, yep, keep pumping him out, and you know he might get royalties on each one of these things too.
Good point. That really is a good point. I think that may be going on.
Oh my god, this is funny. This is funny right here. Anything made by Hot Toys today that has the word Mandalorian is automatic $20 on every figure, if not more.
Yeah, as soon as I read that, that's the first thing that popped in my mind was Ant-Man 2. Do you just add quantum in front of everything? So, yeah.
No, you know, I don't mind. Like I said, I know what I was coming to when I was getting into the collecting Hot Toys. You know, and I'm really not surprised about the pricing, because I'm coming in collecting buying up these or collecting these high end figures, you know, because of the price, and it's unavoidable, it's inevitable that these prices are going to rise. It's not like, you know, back in the days, the good old days, where I hear, you know, the prices of Hot Toys weren't that great, but now that's the thing, though. You know, it's evolution. There
remembers.
Especially coming out of the pandemic too. I mean, yeah, some of these prices were going to go up, but I think Don brings up a great point, because they're going to come out. They have already come out with so many Temuera Morrison, figures with his likeness, and they're probably going to come out with a lot more. Is it possible that they have a special deal with him? And I think that they probably would have went that route, instead of with every single figure doing that. And that could be maybe one of the reasons why, you know, this figure is where it is, and maybe why, like I brought up before, why it's so far below Bo-Katan. Like I said, I haven't looked at that figure in a while. Remember what that comes with, you know, if it has like light up functions.
Okay, so it's $250, right? So let me see, Bo-Katan.
It has the base, I think, that with the 2 light ups, possibly. But it's supposed to represent the ship right outside.
Dear Lord, $285 for Bo-Katan compared to Hunter. Oh my God! She does. Singer songwriter was right. Anything Mandalorian, just throw $20 in there.
This is 30. What's the Hunter again? $250 or $255? This is $35. What is everything that this comes with, Nate? Like, well, what is that? Where's that everything picture?
The everything picture. Let's pull that up. The everything picture. Let's pull that up. Okay, so pretty much for you get the communicator. You know, $285. You get the head sculpt, the communicator. You get the tow cable, hook, the straps, the leather straps, and then the 2 guns, the blades, the hands, and then the base. You know, the base that mimics the side with the cardboard, that mimics the not the shuttle, but the cruiser that they were on.
I think the best car, Mando non-deluxe, comes with more, and that's $265, and it has a Yoda with it, because you get the jetpack with the non-deluxe Beskar Mando, And that's magnetic. You get the flame effects, I believe.
For the jetpack, yeah, not for his wrist.
Yeah, not for the wrist, right? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they had to pay Katie Sackhoff a lot of money for that.
That's what I was thinking.
You want
That's
me
what
to
I
be
was thinking.
honest?
Maybe her likeness was a little higher
Maybe,
than.
also maybe boob armor. Realistically, they have to brand new mold, remold stuff. So yeah. So if it's one of those things, if they're gonna put the money in, then Costco Reeves becomes a legitimate option as well because they might want to recoup some of that money. If they
I wasn't even thinking about that. Wow. Yeah, I wasn't.
But didn't
even
they have to
thinking about
redo? Didn't they? Isn't Hunter a lot of that stuff new too, or no?
Yeah, Hunter's Clone Commando.
Yeah.
The only thing that's not Clone Commando is his helmet, which is a modified Phase 2. Because if you actually look at it, like the front, like his visor panel, it almost is like kind of like Commando, but the rest of his is modified Phase 2. But his chest panel, his gauntlets, the knee pads, because he doesn't actually wear knee pads, he has just the shin pads actually have the cover that extend over it, which is unique to the clones. Like even the Arch didn't have that. So yeah, this is all clone armor and everything but the helmet. The backpack is clone. Everything is clone. Commando. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe another thing is just the likeness. Her likeness price was a little higher compared to Temuera Morrison. Because let me see, the first Temuera Morrison head sculpt was Cody, right? He was only $250, right? Cody was only $250.
I think, was it Cody or was it Django? Cody was the first one, right? When did Django come out?
That Hot Toys released or the Sideshow? Because the Sideshow did the Django.
We're talking about Hot Toys. Yeah, we're talking about
the announcement.
Yeah, so the I think
that came after. I think, yeah.
I think Cody was first, then Django.
Yeah, Cody was first, announcement pre-order. Now the first ever figure to come out as far as like the head sculpt of Django on live was in the cons. Like visually it was Django,
Yeah.
but the first one to put up for that's funny. The first one the first one that came out first was Cody versus Django for pre-orders. That's funny. Maybe it's a Mando thing. Django's $285. Wow, that's the thing, man. That maybe because another factor we gotta add to this, the whole thing with the clones. It's maybe the head sculpt for Temuera Morrison. It can be. Yeah, there we go. Cody was $243, and Rex was $255, and Django was $285.
Django's $285, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yo, that's
Does
wild.
Django come with a special display then? Because I know he must come with some.
I haven't looked at that in a while.
I'm gonna pull up Django right now too. Shoot, that's wild, man. Maybe the show isn't. Maybe the show is also a factor too, because you've seen that a lot more of the live action figures or live action characters that are made to live action figures are more expensive compared to the actual characters from the show, not the show, but the animated show. I've been noticing that too. Like maybe it's a show thing. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's a show.
$285. Wow.
285, and oh my god, dear lord, this man comes with a whole bunch of stuff compared to.
Yeah, that's right. He comes
with like a DX
both backpacks. Yeah, he comes with both backpacks because he wore 2 jetpacks in Attack of the Clones. Because remember when he fought Obi-Wan, he lost one of them. So.
Oh yeah, and he has that other. Is that another head sculpt with that thing on his
Snoopy
head?
cap. Yeah,
Okay.
communications cap.
Yeah, communication cap, but it's not another head sculpt. If it was another head sculpt, this would be pretty much pushing $315. If there was another head sculpt that come with this, if it was another head sculpt, they might as well make this into a DX versus a deluxe, because usually DXs are the ones that come with the second head sculpts.
Oh, looking at this now, I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with 285 now. Looking at everything that this is coming with, it's a lot.
Especially the missile that you can set it up like it's firing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then people were complaining about the head sculpt for Django. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Are you
That's
out of your
perfect.
freaking mind? Why are you freaking complaining about the head sculpt on Django? That thing is freaking that's perfection.
I think
And
It's a
it's
then
perfection.
masterpiece. Yeah.
Now, is
yeah,
that jetpack magnetic or is it the hooks?
Can't
there's no
tell.
hook, so this could be magnetic.
Well, there
This,
is a slot right above it, so who knows if that's where the hook is.
hmm, very interesting. Very interesting. Let me see.
Hold on.
See that gap?
You know what? They might actually, what we were talking about earlier, it might be magnetic, but there's the two flaps that you just feed those into the back of the jetpack to make it look like they're hooked on. That's what that might actually be.
I wish they would have done that with the Bobas.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's what's going to happen for Boba Fett.
Because
For
the Mandalorian Boba Fett, that 2-pack, that's magnetic, as I remember reading that in the description. That's the same backpack he had from Return of the Jedi. So
So I'm thinking, the next Boba Fett we're gonna get, like because of Book of Boba Fett, we are gonna get another. Give me a second. I want to go through the comments, not comments, but the jetpack here. Let me see if I can read that. If this is a costume accessory, like accessories are the jetpack. It could be jetpacks. I think. Let me see. Blue yellow colored jetpack equipped with magnetic features. There you go. Yeah. So it is a magnetic. It is magnetic.
magnetic feature makes me think, though. I'm wondering if the 40th anniversary Boba also says feature.
There is a slight magnet in the back, but it doesn't really do much because
No, it doesn't.
because the thing is, Hottoys is making you utilize the 285. Well, this is 285 because of the it's a deluxe and the 40th. So you see, I like how Hot Toys was preparing us for the 285. You see the 285? Now
Yep,
he's
yep.
another 285 and
They
another
were
285.
warming us up, baby.
They're conditioning us like Pavlov's dog.
Okay, there you go. Magnetic feature. Here's the thing, though, because even though it's a magnetic feature, the problem is they are making you use the hooks, so the power of that magnet is not that great. That's the
No, it's
problem.
not. Yeah.
And then let me pull up Boba Fett 2-pack here. I wonder if he's popping up on the search. There you go. Okay, I have to write the entire damn name. Freaking Fett. God. Driving me insane. Okay, so let's go to the accessories here. I'm sorry if we were boring you guys with this. We're just trying to figure out about these magnetic craps. Okay, so attach 2 real thruster accessories. Okay, attachable to the gauntlet. Okay. Where's the jetpack here? Jetpack with distress effects and detachable rocket. It doesn't say magnets here. So
Interesting.
This one's gonna have to have the magnets because there's no hooks for this one. Let me see. Is there hooks? Oh my god! They bring back the damn hooks. I'm gonna be freaking pissed. I'm gonna be. You see, there's no hooks. You see, there's no hook attachment here. It gotta be magnets. It gotta be.
Or maybe they'll have a situation where there's on the back of his armor. There's an actual inlay where you have like snap it in like Heavy Mando. Because Heavy Mando is not magnet. You physically snap it to the back of his armor.
Yeah, that's a good. I like that feature on the heavy. I like that, like the Heavy Mando and the Beskar Mando. I like the way putting the jetpack on those 2 figures way better than the Bobas that we already have. For sure.
Aloha, guys. Hey, Michigan Jedi. What's up, buddy? But no, it's quite interesting. I think they're probably going to be doing that for the future. For now, here's the problem with that. During the Bacardi stream last night, a lot of people were talking about how they're afraid of removing the jetpack out of the back of the clipped Heavy Mando, and I was like, and I drunkenly just pulling it out, pulling it back in, putting it out. And I was like, "What you guys talking about?" It's actually coming off mine several times before the stream today, and I was like, what are you guys talking about? Like, I've had the, it was easy for me. I think the reason why a lot of people are, that's the only thing though. If they do the clip thing, people are going to be more, scared to pull it out because, like they're afraid they could snap something as they're pulling it out.
Well, and it makes it really cumbersome to really pose Boba with those clips. I mean, like, for posing and working with the Beskar Mandalorian, the heavy infantry Mandalorian. I mean, if you pull that backpack out, easily and carefully, it shouldn't break. It's just don't be reckless with it. But I find with the vintage color and the ESB Boba, man, it's always like you got to be like real careful, and then I find myself being like really, really fragile with it. So I don't have to like pose it and be like, oh, let me get the tweezers out again and manipulate that. It's just a real pain. I wish the magnet was just a little stronger. So hopefully, yeah, they stay away from it, especially with Django. Don't put it in there, baby.
Don't put it in there. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking in the next few Boba Fett's, because we are going to get another. Here's the thing, guys. Temuera Morrison came out and he said that Boba Fett is going to go flashbacks where Boba Fett was what he was doing during the Empire, between Empire and Return. They're going to be showing that. So we are going to see a Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett, possibly with his Temuera Morrison head sculpt again. We're probably going to see that again at release. So will that affect the 40th anniversary? I'm not sure. Release of Boba Fett, because that's the 40th anniversary versus the brand new one, which is not. So I'm guessing the 40th will be a lot more favored as a collector item compared to the next Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. It's gonna come. It's coming.
That would be rad, man. If they show those flashback scenes of what's going on between ESB and Return of the Jedi, and then he's in Slave One and he's about to bring in the Jabba, and then here comes IG-88 or Bosk and some other kind of ship, and they get in some battle. That would be epic.
Yeah.
There's actually a canon comic that I think they're going to take inspiration from, what does exactly that, and it shows everyone battling to get Han and deliver the bounty to Jabba to get paid. So yeah, that's
man. It's funny.
It'll explain the change in uniform between ESB to Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So they can do multiple versions. They can do they can reissue the old deluxe Return of the Jedi or update that. So with the Sarlacc pit.
They also better they better show him how he gets out of the Sarlacc pit. Everyone wants to see that.
I think that's already kind of been I think that's one of those things where basically the Krayt Dragon ate the Sarlacc. And he might have. Let's just say he might have had a rough way out, if you get my drift.
Well, maybe they'll show it. I don't know how they would do it, but
what's funny though. I like what Don was saying. Like, I have that comic book too. Like, I have the comic book, the original comic book. I also got the pop-up comic book, but I never opened that. It's sealed, never to be opened.
Ooh.
Okay, the pop-up comic book for that. And I have the regular release version of that, and I was reading through it, and I was like, yeah, they could throw in IG-88. Hell, the only people that were cool with Boba Fett was Dengar and Bosk. Everybody else was coming after Boba. I'm like, bruh, give me Han. Give me Han Solo. I need the money from Jabba the Hutt. Don't care if we're cool. We're not cool anymore, bruh. We're taking Han.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, they can actually do a whole episode. They've done this in other series before, where obviously they take a whole episode and it's completely back in time. They could start it off with something, or they don't even have to. It could just be a whole back in time one. That would be great.
Well, I mean, it's not canon, but there's a mashup of an Indiana Han Solo comic book where Han and Chewie, they're in the Falcon, they go through a wormhole, they crash into the woods, they die. 100 years later, Indiana Jones is outside Seattle. He finds the remains of the Falcon, he finds that Solo was killed by Native Americans in the area, and Chewie is now Bigfoot, or is the reason for the Bigfoot sightings. That's an actual comic book.
That's hilarious, bro. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Wow. I remember.
That'd be
I
a
remember
great
that.
series. Chewbacca, Bigfoot, Disney Plus.
Oh, here's another thing. Who brought it up? Blackbird Tech here. He says, "Well, definitely see another Boba Jedi reissue." Yeah, it's no doubt they're probably going to do a 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, and they're going to I don't want them to do a reissue of that. I want them to do a 2.0 version of Return of the Jedi's Boba Fett because
magnetic jetpack.
Exactly, magnetic jet. I don't want a literal reissue of that. I want a 2.0 version because I'm getting tired of the freaking straps. Okay, I'm getting tired of that. Because you can't come on, Hot Toys. You can't tease us with the magnets and the clip-ons, and you just come back with these freaking. Oh my god, it takes forever, bro. It took forever. Oh my god, who's in? What? The Novi in the house, baby.
What's going on?
Hey, look who's in.
I had a crash. I sensed a disturbance in the force. I was feeling. I'm like, oh, look, I caught like the last 10, 15 minutes, and all I heard was honeymoon and love and deep feelings, and I'm like, oh my goodness, all these poor wallets crying in anger.
Oh, you saw my meme? You saw my meme?
I'm talking about I'm talking about the amount of wooing, the amount of swooning that's been happening in the last 15 minutes of this live stream. And Aries over here, Aries, I love you because I love how you justify everything. It's like, well, 285 isn't that bad if it comes with all this good fun schlock. And I'm just like,
we were cutting.
We're just gonna throw some pieces in there.
No, we were cutting up on Hot Toys because of the pricing too. But we have to show some love at least.
Oh, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to crash. I'm gonna have to chaperone this little midnight gathering here, because this is look at this. Oh my goodness, return of this one. I tell you what.
They do give you a ton with that Django, but I didn't look at it that closely. I'm looking at a little screen over here, but they do. You're right. They do sometimes give you garbage, right? That you really don't need, and then but it's like putting in a bunch. It's like you get that shrimp scampi, and you get all that pasta, but you get like 3 shrimp.
What was it? What's that quote? Little Annie, there's a storm coming. Best get inside. We're not even. I think we're up to 36. We're up to 36 Star Wars pre-orders. That actually it's about 35 because I've been told that the speeder bike has started shipping to the US. So we're about 35 Star Wars pre-orders. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I don't even have my speeder bike yet, but I did not pre-order my speeder bike through Sideshow. I didn't get it through Alter Ego. So if folks out there are starting to get their speeder bike from Sideshow, that means I'll probably be getting hit in a few weeks on that. What else is dropping? Anybody? I need to keep up. What else has been shipping from Sideshow?
I heard IG-11 was shipping.
IG-11 is coming in micro batch. I talked to Sideshow yesterday, and they specifically, and I asked them, IG-11 and the Scout, they are slowly getting them, but the problem is they're basically micro batches. They're not full allotments.
So then we're about 33, 34 then. Okay, because I wasn't aware that the IGs were shipping from Sideshow. I'm counting. I count the Star Wars pre-orders from the U.S. shipments from Sideshow. I don't care if it was released in February. It's the U.S. based collectors that I'm more concerned about. What I talked with you. The 1/1 scale Grogu that was released in February, was just recently started shipping from Sideshow. So there's this huge big time vortex that I'm trying to navigate. I'm trying to navigate the ship, and the stars that are in the sky aren't helping me very much. So
Just see stars in the sky.
Yeah.
You can find your
Well,
North Star, man.
One thing I was noticing, fellas, and I took a look at it actually earlier today because I gazed at it yesterday, and then I went back today, and I was like, man, IG-11 best-selling wise is kind of it's down. And you even look at Kylo Ren. Now, I'm prefacing this as like, remember when the Kylo Ren reviews came out? And when the IG-11 reviews came out, and they're taking so long to get over here, and now they're starting to drop all the way back down. I mean, the Rey is up high. But I was like, wow, that's real interesting to me because of these delays.
Yeah, I do have Kylo Ren on pre-order through Sideshow.
Okay.
And as far as I can tell, he hasn't started shipping from Sideshow yet, right? Anybody can confirm that? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I got a
he-
pre-order
no, he-
too from Sideshow. Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
the only ones as of right now that are getting shipped out, from what I've been seeing from posts and what I've been hearing from people commenting to me, is Captain America in small batches.
Okay.
We're getting, I'm saying, slight IG-11 batches going out, but he won't be in fully until July. That's what I've been hearing from customer service. And then
confirmed it last night.
Yeah, and then who else was it? It was the Captain America IG-11
Scouts,
and the Scouts. Those are the ones that are going out right now. And Spear, yes.
Yeah, that's the thing too. They should have. They need to stop with that. The whole Scout Trooper and then the Scout Trooper and the speeder bike. That's two different SKUs. That just creates more. They should have. I don't know. I think I look back at it now with the amount of pre-orders. I think they should have just sold it as a set. I know not everybody may want the speeder bike, and they may just want the Trooper, but when you keep adding more SKUs, it tends to get a little bit complicated. It tends to add more gears to the cog and the works and. No. So 33, 34, depending on the small batches of shipment. That's what we're at right now. Not including this guy here. Captain Rex has been delayed. I'm going to tell you something. I'm scared. I am terrified of this upcoming holiday season. I'm terrified. I really am.
I don't know. I really don't know. I think if Hot Toy continues this freaking trend of putting out more pre-orders than actual releases, we might just see a whole bunch of delays coming up when it's supposed to be coming out. First quarter of 2022, because there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot more figures. Oh my god, freaking! Who else is here?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Holy crap! What's
Bring
going
it on.
Let's rock.
You got full house, baby.
Bring it on.
Let's rock out with our Hot Toys out.
Just bring it on. Just you don't want to keep wishing for that, Nate. You don't want to. Don't look for the positive in the delays. It's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad, and I'm hoping that we in the community, or at least, are voicing our concerns. We're calling Sideshow. That way, Sideshow can add the pressure to their distributor, which is Hot Toys. Hey, look, it's starting to hurt us. We're starting to suffer from dead stock. In retail, there's nothing worse than having dead stock on shelves. It's a killer. So I would speculate that maybe Sideshow is voicing their concerns to Hot Toys. Like, look, this ongoing trend may not be such a good idea, especially with all the conspiracy theories going on out there in the community right now about Hot Toys is a sinking ship. So they keep pumping out pre-orders, sandbagging. Because everybody in the group knows. Does everybody in the group, before I continue, everybody's aware how Hot Toys, they sell their figures in the Asian market, right? Everybody's aware that they do collect 50% up front. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, because whenever I pre-order something overseas, that's basically the best way to get these figures. If anybody wants to do a review out there and they want to get it day one, make sure you find a reseller that you could give a deposit like 50% right off the bat. It's those slips; those are important. And then you can pretty much get it close to like retail day one. But in the most part, yeah. Once usually, so you have to think like Hot Toys only sells what was it? Denobi like a pre-order per person or
For in Hong Kong or here in the
in
US?
Hong Kong. Whenever like there's like they release a figure, like let's say this Hunter. So I know that they only limited like maybe a pre-order a person.
Yes.
So yeah, so usually someone like Toys Wonderland and some of these other resellers and how they get like a bunch, they get like their family members, their friends, like they
yeah. So did you guys know that? Did you? So like if I was in Hong Kong, if I was in Secret Base and I got the cash, they would only sell it to me one item per ticket. Are they still doing the physical ticket? It's a transferable, or is it?
I heard
they're
doing. I heard they're still doing the tickets over there.
Okay. So
It's a receipt,
folks who are
basically,
listening in, what we're talking about is that I can place my deposit and they'll give me a ticket, right? So with this ticket, right, that I placed my pre-order on the Bounty Hunter, I can then go to Don Prime and say, "Hey Don, I pre-ordered this. I paid, my deposit was $150 is what I put down. But you know what? You really want this? I'll sell it to you for $200." So now I sold my ticket to Don Prime. He now has a day one pre-order, and I've made $50 by standing in line, camping out, and so forth. So that's what the market is like out there, and I don't think a lot of U.S. customers know about that because I wasn't sure if they were still doing the physical paper type ticket that I can then sell.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I could stand in line, right? I can day one pre-order the speeder bike, and if Nate wants it from me, sure, Nate, I'll sell you my pre-order for 10-20% markup price.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks for the people that's trying to buy those day one pre-orders.
Yeah.
So basically, if say I'm some sort of like Days Toylerland or something, and I'm like, oh god, like I need to make some money. So I'm like, hey guys, in the panel here, give me your pre-orders. I'll give you an extra $20, like or $50, and then I take all those and I start selling them to U.S. customers and making a ton more money. It's basically like sneakers, right? Like sneakers,
Or the iPhones.
our iPhones. So basically, that's how Hot Toys resellers make their money. So basically, you got to find the person who has like family members or whatever, and they're willing to kind of sell you that pre-order ticket close to Sideshow retail.
Yeah.
They'll still make a good amount of money because you have to think how much how much it is over in Hong Kong, right? Like this Hunter, it could be like, I don't know, $200 in Hong Kong and $250 here in Sideshow. Mm-hmm. So regardless if they sell to you for Sideshow retail price, right? It's basically they're still making money. And what makes it worse is that if you want it, right away, you gotta like instead of waiting for like, I don't know, HK Post or Post Office, then you gotta pay like DHL, which is another $80 to ship over to.
Oh my god!
So it does add up.
DHL for me is cheap.
So long story short, yeah, sometimes if you really want to save money, especially I think Denobi pointed out so many times now, like especially with the Blurg 2-pack with Queel, I think in your live stream you you dropped the mic and kind of showed us like, okay, there's how much tax, how much shipping. And then that all adds up like to like $600 something. Now, let's say you want to resell that figure, right? Let's say like you want to go on eBay. People forgot like eBay takes a chunk of change, chunk. Like
14%.
Yeah, that's just the fees. Though. That's the fees.
It's
that's just
anywhere
the fees.
now between 9%, and that's for like the absolute power sellers, all the way to 17.9%, depending on the options you check out.
Exactly. So not only that, the fees, but you got to pay PayPal. I think they're still using PayPal.
No more PayPal.
Okay,
no.
whatever.
What happened with that? What happened with that? That's why I'm not using eBay anymore because I'm like, oh, you don't want my PayPal? Fine.
It's
you
because
can still use PayPal to pay.
Yeah.
But as far as if you sell something, you have to give them your actual bank account information direct.
Yeah.
And it's like a managed asset program where you will, sell something and they're supposed to get the money for you at 3 days, and like the shipping is automatically included, but taking out and then like any taxes are supposed to be taken out. But like for me, I live in New Hampshire. We don't have sales tax, and we have a state law where it's illegal for any entity to charge tax from any purchase.
I should move over to New Hampshire then.
That's all going to do.
that's back in my
So
bag,
all that
baby.
stuff comes into mind. But
Yeah.
so I mean, depending on like how it's marked up, you can lose like the average is now like 15.5% on every transaction because eBay and PayPal separated like 4 or 5 years ago because they're two separate entities now.
You know, for example, I sold like a statue for $400, like, and then they took out the taxes, eBay taxes, fees, PayPal fees. I was like $80 off. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like what the hell?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Fee after fee after fee. Like
Well,
I'm feeling this
Macari
thing
now,
free.
like Macari is worse now. Like for a $250 item I put up, at one point they wanted a processing fee, which was like $7 just for processing.
Yeah.
Then they wanted 10%. You know, then if you pay the shipping, you know, then it's a flat $12. Doesn't matter if it's 1 pound or 5 pounds. It's a flat $12. Then there's and it's like that's worse than eBay now. So
Yeah, and my main point is that like, okay, yeah, prices, okay, yeah, it's $285, it's $250, but people forget like there's tax and shipping prices have gone up.
they're going
Like,
up again.
Yeah, dude, like
No.
I paid for a Silver Surfer statue from Sideshow. I got charged $45 for taxes, and then $70 for shipping. I almost my jaw dropped.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the? And then I compared like some of the. Okay, here's a comparison. Juggernaut. This is like this quarter scale huge statue comes in 2 boxes, I believe. You know how much I paid for the shipping for that? $80. $80 for 2 boxes.
Yeah,
Two
like
boxes.
This is a
just-
Silver Surfer statue that's like this big and I paid $70. I'm like, what is going on?
That's what it was.
here?
Wasn't that about the same price for the Rancor in the 2 boxes too? Wasn't that?
Yeah. Perfect. Great example. The Rancor with the. I'm like, what is going on
Hey,
here?
listen, that's why I use a local comic shop and some comic shops sometimes.
Mhm.
You know, you can go ahead and bypass some of those fees and do it that way. So it's not always you have to get it from Sideshow or you guys are bringing up the some of the international, whatever those are.
Yeah.
I don't buy from them at all. But yeah, I mean sometimes from Sideshow, but a lot of times I get it from a comic shop or whatnot, and then you can bypass a lot of those fees because, as you're saying, I mean, how many times have we, talked about it this blurg, the price of the blurg with the OG Mando, but it's definitely going to be over $620 or $30 by the time, at least.
Yeah.
At
Well, and
least.
here's the thing, though, too. So USPS, the U.S. Postal Service, they've already announced in August a rate increase across the board, including stamps and stuff. Like, because I already went to the post office, got another
That's
book
right.
of stamps for the increase. So that also means FedEx, UPS, they're going to follow suit as well because they can. Because, again, this is not just an arbitrary, cost increase. Their costs are increasing as well, and it's being passed off.
There's
And just for an example, my quarter scale Mark III, it was damaged. So I got it from Sideshow. It was a free shipping promo. So they shipped it to me. It was damaged, so they had to send me the return label to send it on their dime. When they get it back, they've got to send another quarter scale out to me. So just even with their contract rates, that's the equivalent of like $56, a 17-pound package, in its dimensions. So they're losing money on shipping because of, it was a promo and there's an issue. So it's essentially got to be shipped 3 times.
Yeah.
So
And I agree. Like, Aries brings up a great point. Support your local comic book shops. If you could find someone that you could buy from where you don't have to pay the taxes and shipping and save on that, you do so. But here's the thing. We live in a day and age where it's all about hype, right? Like, I need to get that figure right now. I can't wait 5 or 6 months for this figure. But the thing is, in the long run, if you wait 5-6 months, you're saving $70. Now imagine, like Denobi says, "Oh, I had 36 pre-orders." That's if you're a Star Wars collector, you're gonna try and pick up every figure. Now 70 times 36 pre-orders, that adds up. that adds up. And I think it's just that, like, for me, it's like, before, like, when I did my channel, like, I was guilty of promoting some of the resellers and uh, uh, some retail companies. Now I'm just kind of rethinking it because I really want to help, like, my fellow collectors, like, kind of like hang in there, because prices are going up, shipping's gone up, taxes was never
Well,
an issue.
At least you're admitting it. So
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's you watch some of my previous videos, or it's like, it's out there. But at the same time, it's like, it does add up. And Hot Toys is not getting any cheaper, and we
Now-
it's
now
not getting
here's-
cheaper,
Probably
we're getting
gonna
more
go
figures.
up more. It's
Yeah.
Now here's the
No,
thing,
it's
though. This is one I wanted to bring up with you guys. Like, Zenobi, he came in straight out the back telling us that, there's rumors going around that the company's Hot Toys is going underwater now because of all more pre-orders than actual releases.
That's a good point.
It's a quick way. Yeah, it's a quick cash infusion by flooding the market with pre-orders that have a 2-year delivery. It's cash now, where you can kind of borrow now and then deliver in a year or two or whenever. So
it also
that's a big
shows
concern.
money in the future. And that's why I think they're going to come out with more pre-orders if they're trying. If it is true and they're in trouble, which I don't think is really so far out, because there are so many companies coming out of this pandemic and in the pandemic that just, quite frankly, are in trouble. Denobi, I think you brought it out that 3 of them went out last year.
Yeah.
So
and it's just bonkers, because everything that what we're used to, you can't use that anymore because of 2020. Companies that you thought were very secure, you're like, what happened? Companies that depended on toy fair conventions that were not there last year, it devastated them. There's companies that save X amount of dollars to attend one of the biggest toy conventions in the world, San Diego Comic-Con, and a lot of them did not get that opportunity for exposure to collect pre-orders, to collect the hype. For all the influencers out there, it wasn't there last year. It's not there this year. There is no San Diego Comic-Con this year. I know there's a little few toy tchotchke events around the world right now, but until we get up to speed on that,
New York Comic-Con is full and live. They have announced that.
is that in October, right?
Yeah, it's October, but
7th
I
through
mean,
10th,
yeah, but I mean, compared to San Diego, like, I mean, I go to New York.
Yeah, no, I
Comic-Con.
completely agree. But that's like the first big one that will be,
And it still has a street cred. It doesn't have the street cred that San Diego Comic-Con does have, but it does. Typically with San Diego, with the New York convention, it's usually the leftovers from San Diego. It's typically
TV.
Yeah.
Well, I went in 2019, and yeah, definitely what I could see, it was more like San Diego Comic-Con is more movie oriented, where New York was more TV oriented. It was a lot more, especially like with the Amazon was there. They had the Expanse cast there. Now, Paul Rudd was also there, but that was for another project not related to Marvel. So yeah, I mean, I could see this kind of like as a gap period. Again, for the first big thing back in the U.S. Because then in Thanksgiving, they're doing a virtual con or like a partial con done through San Diego Comic-Con, but they're not calling it the San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, hey, before we continue, Aries, I know we're hitting to the point where you might have to go. So do you want to say any few words right now before you tell it?
I'd love to stay. I do have to go. But it's been great. I'm so happy that everybody joined here on the chat. It's so cool to see PJ, Paradox Nerd, and Denobi pop on here. And so it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, I do got to go ahead and take off. But seems like you guys are now, you got the conversation. You know where to go forward with it. So I will look forward to watching it the rest later. But thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
When's
Thanks
your
for having me on,
next stream, Aries? Aries, when are you doing your next stream?
I will be doing the next stream. Market Show Live will be this Friday. 9 p.m. Eastern. So definitely
Nice.
put that on your calendar. So
Cool.
I will be live. Appreciate
nice.
it, guys.
See ya.
All right.
Thanks, bro.
All right.
Take it
Bye,
easy,
Aries.
man.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
But
Where do you, Nate? Where do you your pre-orders? Do you focus more through Sideshow, or do you do locals, or do you do random retailers?
yeah,
This is for Nate.
I do between Sideshow and then other online retailers, kind of like Comiconcept, stuff like that. If I can't get it from Sideshow, I usually go for Comiconcepts.
So, majority of your pre-orders, are they sitting on Sideshow, or are they just scattered throughout?
The majority of them is sitting on Sideshow.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Actually, I was going to ask you, Denobi, where do you see like this community, well, Hot Toys in general, 2 or 3 years from now? Because I feel like there's a lot has changed from when I first started collecting to now. And, especially with like the taxes and the shipping, because that was never an issue. Because I looked at some of my old pre-orders, I'm like, damn, wow, like I paid this much for this figure, I paid this much for that figure. And, I feel like, with this whole tax thing, I feel like it's like really like putting a damper in some of our stuff. And plus, like, Sideshow's not really giving us a lot of like $25 off, like, coupons and everything. And I feel like they took away the rewards codes and stuff in some of their live stream because they felt like a lot of people were just tuning in just to get the codes. It's almost like I think you have to do a game to get codes now or something like that. I forgot.
They've
Something
shown
like that.
evidence of restructuring. You can look at the way Sideshow has evolved within the last year after the pandemic to what they are now. You've seen more of a social presence from them. It's almost the impression that they're under new management type deal. Because I've never seen that this type of strong presence from Sideshow within the last year. There's a lot more new faces, or more groups, and so forth. Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna say, ever since Susan stopped working there, there was almost like you could see the shift starting. They started with other individuals, and then it's been evolving. But yeah, once Susan was gone, you could definitely see there was a shift in how they were trying to do things, and that first couple of months with certain individuals was an experiment, and a lot of people in the community didn't like that individual.
Yeah, no, it's not even really about like the individual that's hosting the show, but I just feel like now, because there's a lot of groups doing rewards codes groups and people being in it, and then maximizing the rewards points that they could get per event. They've done away with that because they felt like that was why people were just tuning in, even though people did tune in to watch Susan, and because she was the face of Sideshow. But it's just like now, like, the codes are gone. It's the taxes are there, the shipping is there. How is that going to affect like collectors? Like not even like just like average collectors like going forward are like, it's almost like you really have to pick and choose what figures you really want in your collection, as opposed to before, like you kind of like collect everything if you wanted to back then.
You could have almost collect everything back then, but now you have to be a little bit more strategic.
Yeah, more conservative with your collection.
Yeah, because I'm guessing, Nate, you're gonna try to attack close to 34 of those pre-orders, if not all. Right? I'm assuming you're gonna try to get most of them all.
Yeah, most of them. The one thing I might have to do is cut down on the army building of certain troopers.
Okay.
So, but pretty much almost all of them. I'm not even including the damn Marvel stuff I'm working on too. So I'm in a big boat right now. That's why I've been buying up a whole bunch of display cases.
Sell your damn pops, dude.
Hey, Daddy, chill. Okay, I want the prices to
go up. Where do you live, Nate? In Louisiana? Don't you?
Yeah.
Where do you live, Nate? I'll come visit you. I'll bring a shovel, a shopping cart. We'll get rid of those pops. We'll bury them out in New Mexico, out here in the desert. Look, dude. Look, I live in the desert. Look, we'll build that shit out here. Come on.
What is that next to the ET Atari 600 games?
Yep, and the ET cartridges. We'll take those pops and I'll bury them.
Oh my god!
They're right out there. They're right You can see them over in the mountains over here. You can, if you can see
Yeah.
them.
Because
Oh
you know
my
what it is
God.
too is like I think I mentioned in my previous live streams the Nobi is that like
Get rid
we
of it.
haven't felt the full wrath of Hot Toys yet, because they're still
No, we're not there yet.
we're not there yet, dude.
We're not there yet.
People forget that there was a pandemic that pushed all these shows, all these movies. I'm talking about Marvel, all these shows and movies back. So yes, there is like this gap where we're like, okay, all right, we don't feel it, but once they start ramping up, now you
Tonight.
have both.
It starts tonight.
Star Wars and
Oh, that's right.
Marvel.
Black Widow.
Hot Toys is already announced. They have a running counter that like Black Widow movie figures are going to be officially revealed tonight.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So
okay.
it begins tonight. The onslaught of Marvel.
Loki.
So again, I'm thinking it's going to be Black Widow in her white
Marvel.
suit. It's going to be Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Oh, hey guys, we've been hitting Order 66, so execute Order 66 on the likes. Now we're at 70 viewers, but Order 66 on the likes. Execute Order 66.
Yeah. And I almost think like can Hot Toys keep up? Like, do you think Denobi can Hot Toys keep up with all these IPs that's pumping out all these shows and can they tackle like an off movie, like I don't know, like another Alita movie that's coming? I don't know.
So they've always been very faithful to their pre-orders. Every time they've released a pre-order, regardless if it shows up in a year or in 3 years or whatnot, they've always been able to deliver. But that being said, though, when you add the new calculations of the Black Widow conspiracy, it's out of control.
Don't put that evil on us.
When you add 2020 and you see what happened to a lot of people and so forth, you don't know. You don't. Does that make sense? It's weird, isn't it? Oh, Hot Toys are never going to be like. I love I guess it's fair. Like, oh, Hot Toys has been around. They're never going to go around. It's a good company. They've always been there. And I'm like, people. We've seen a lot of companies in the last just 10 years disappear. We've seen Blockbuster disappear. We've seen Toys R Us disappear. We've seen. There's a YouTube video out there that shows like the top 10 retailers that disappeared in the last 5 years alone. So what makes Hot Toys so special, right? They are selling high-end, expensive action figures, right? So can you blame the community about the conspiracy theories like, oh, they're sandbagging, they're collecting money now. So, essentially taking out a loan on reissues, right? The Mark 42 quarter scale that came out of nowhere.
So freaking weird. Talk about stock, the dead stock. It's like, can you imagine? Because I remember that this quarter scale figure being in Sideshow's website forever.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand this. Like,
but the resale market was crazy on that one, though. Resale market has been crazy.
Years. Well, it wasn't anything recent, but you're right, because I did check on the historical on that one, and it was brand new, anywhere between $1,000 to maybe 14, I think is what it sold. I didn't think it was anything outrageous because it is still a $600 retail piece, right? Wasn't it like $640 retail?
Yeah.
So
what's funny about that figure? You know what's funny about that figure? A lot of people, you guys are saying that it's sat, in sound retail and online sites, right? But now, everybody. The one quarter scale Iron Man everybody was talking about was the Mark 42. If you wanted one of the best, especially with the Iron Man Mark III is good. But if you wanted to get a great quarter scale, it was the Mark 42. Like everybody, like, yes, that's the go-to.
Well, Mark 45, I would argue that's pretty up there. But for me, like, one thing with Hot Toys is that they don't like. Hot Toys collectors are 1/6 collectors. They're not quarter scale collectors. Yeah. And it's very rarely, like, I don't know, like you see a quarter scale do so well. So this sat on Sideshow's website for a long time. And guess what? Sideshow was like, oh, yes, we finally sold the last piece. Yay. They probably threw like a party in the warehouse. Now it's like, oh, here we go. Oh, mother. Like, what the hell? Like, we're getting this stupid Iron Man again. But yeah, you're right. Like, I don't understand the thinking, the logic with this release. This came out of left field and back to back after a War Machine reissue.
Mm-hmm. Here's another. Before we continue with that, now I wanted. This is a question. The super chat. Thanks, Alvin. I wanted to address this one, and then we got another super chat. But this one, as far as like me as starting out, getting this boom of viewers, as the channel is growing. But I think this question is good for addressing towards you guys, Nobi and PJ. Like, how do you feel about this? Have you guys seen an increase in viewership? The reason I asked is because everyone says the community has exploded. How much does that factor?
I don't know. I didn't see an increase in viewership. Maybe because I don't pump out as much videos as I used to.
Yeah, no. That's actually there actually has been an increase in viewership, and there's actually been an increase in new collectors. And that was something that I talked about with Aries. And, Aries came out, and did say that he did start collecting Hot Toys early last year. The pandemic introduced a lot of new people into Hot Toys because of the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian, it was considered a segue show that introduced a lot of new toy collectors into Hot Toys because of the hype and the energy surrounding the Mandalorian. At the time, it was Baby Yoda. I don't think at the time it was Grogu yet. So the Mandalorian did what all the other IPs could not accomplish, and it was introduce new collectors and sell. I mean, that's the whole idea, is to sell merchandise. So yeah, I'm not taking that away from the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian has me very well hooked. I'm not against companies making money. I'm just just the way it's being managed. It's my concern. It's just a lot. Even during the golden age of Marvel, and I'm talking like between 2015 and 2018. That was the tentpole era for MCU. That was Civil War, the Mark 46, the Winter Soldier. I mean, they were pumping out heavy hitters in the MCU around this period, and it was nowhere near the amount of saturation that we're experiencing with Star Wars. So that was one of the purposes of the live stream I had with Aries on his transition from the Star Wars Black Series into Hot Toys, because I know several other people on Instagram that have gone through the same transition in the same amount of time, and it's the honeymoon phase of collecting Hot Toys, especially if you've only been collecting Star Wars Black Series for a small amount, for all your life. If you've been collecting Star Wars Black Series all your life, and now you're entering Hot Toys, oh my God, it's the Wizard of Oz, it's the Emerald City. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What is this? What's going on? So what I'm trying to do is like, hey, you folks out there are enjoying this little honeymoon period, but look, I'm going to pull the curtain back over here. Look what's over there. I go, this is serious. This isn't $20 or $24 action figures. Hot Toys can destroy you. Hot Toys can have you tapped out. Hot Toys can break your relationship. This is what Hot Toys can do.
Well, more so now. So, when I started collecting like 6 years ago, it was a great time, getting my first Hot Toy and stuff like that. And, I went from Funko Pops or from Kotobukiya statues to this. And I was just totally blown away with the portraits. And, back then, the quality was there. Like, maybe you had 2 releases a year that were like semi-okay. Yeah. But I want to share, and if you could share these screenshots, Nate.
Yeah, I can.
Well, yeah.
And these are just some of the figures. Like my first figures that I got, I was going through my photo album, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like look at these, like these, like this Deadshot, such an underrated figure. But look at that portrait. That's like almost like a perfect 10. You know what I'm saying? Like you got this Ant-Man. This is like a $220 Ant-Man. If this was released today, this would be $265, at least $275. And you got that you got Hot Toys taking chances and making Ellen Ripley, aliens, like different characters that you would never get now. It's just different now. Like I feel like, yeah, that's great that we're experiencing an influx of new collectors, but I just feel like I don't know, it's really different. Like, cause like I like some of my characters, like I was all over the place. I wasn't just collecting Star Wars. I was picking up anything that looked good, which is a lot of things. And now it's like when you get a release, you're like, oh, I don't know about that portrait. Oh, I don't know about that portrait. Like I don't know. It's just weird.
not
Back
for
then,
me.
Well,
like
the
Terminator
difference is,
back then.
Oh, yeah.
There was Terminator, there was Predators. I mean, Denobi like experienced like the golden age of Hot Toys collecting, because I mean, I was watching his videos when he was posting up a lot of reviews, and some of those figures were like one of the best. I don't know. It's just weird now. Like I feel like there's a lot more companies, a lot more statue companies coming into the game, stealing a lot of these Hot Toy sculptors. Now it's like I feel like the A-list sculptors are like in like statue companies, and then Hot Toys is struggling to find like good sculptors to consistently sculpt good portraits for them. I mean, Temuera Morrison seems to be
like the
Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Vote
I
with
just
your
want
wallet.
to say,
Just
like
vote with
as
your
far as
wallet.
all the new collectors coming in, the difference is these aren't necessarily just kids or like teenagers or 20 somethings that are just being brought into the hobby. A lot of these and because of the pandemic, if you were working from home, and again, like the statistics and studies will basically show, if you've been working from home, and your salary didn't change anything, you were already working, at a certain position, and your income was already at a certain level, and it's one of those things is you're not spending your disposable income going out to the movies. You're not purchasing trips. You're not you're not spending. So you're looking for another outlet. So then you have fans. One thing leads to another. They have the extra money, so they're gonna start. They see this, and then the first one. It's like a drug. They get addicted. So I think part of what you're seeing too is the new collectors. It's a different type of collector. They might not necessarily be quote unquote young or old. It's just financially they're a little better off than a new collector. If it wasn't the pandemic, that's just saying. When there are people with more disposable income, their standards might change a little bit or be increased. If they're thinking I'm spending X amount of money on something, it should at least equate to this value. So
yeah, I just feel like I think Denobi touched hit the nail on the head in terms of like the Mandalorian really capturing a lot of new Hot Toys collectors, but I feel like they're just those collectors that are just going to be one-offs. Like they'll just get like one Hot Toy or two Hot Toys. They won't be like a collector that's in it for the long run, getting a lot of Hot Toys or collecting a lot of Hot Toys, in my opinion, just because it's harder now compared to before. There was no taxes and shipping, or shipping wasn't that expensive back then. Yeah. Okay, yes, great. That is a $285 Bo-Katan. Add shipping and tax. How much is that figure out the door?
Well,
shipping. I mean, tax for me is
$315.
expensive. Yeah, tax is at 9% out here.
Well, I mean, thankfully in New Hampshire we don't have tax, and the other store,
I'll go to.
I only go to Sideshow now if I have coupons or 5 points.
Yeah,
but
Sideshow never. But it was never an issue. That's the thing.
It was never an issue. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that one.
But I can tell you, I go local. Like I don't know if it's local for me, but I go to a store, a small store that's I've done business with a guy for 10 years. It's Toy Dojo. No deposits on any of the Hot Toys.
Yeah.
And he ships them to you for free. Now, again, if you want them double boxed, you got to pay for that. But if he's shipping them to you for free, it basically equates to $10 double box shipping with no NRD again. And that's where everything else, I've got a couple open at Sideshow, and everything else is with him.
Let me give PJ some points because he's stressed the sales tax several times already, and I 100% agree with him on that, because if you're a collector and you're entering this realm Hot Toys and statue collecting. My God, you know, when you're pre-ordering a $1,200 piece, sales tax on something like that is outrageous, and then the shipping. So and I got my first taste of it with the Blitzway astronaut. I'm a big NASA fan, and I pre-ordered the Blitzway astronaut. I don't know if any of you remember that. It was a statue piece by Blitzway.
Is that the core scale one?
I remember that one.
With
So-
on the Canada arm.
Yeah, with the Canada, exactly. And I pre-ordered it, and it was about $1,100, right? And when it got charged and shipped to me, it was a little over $1,500. I mean, it was insane because the amount of tax and then the shipping. So it wasn't something that I was prepared to encounter with. Hence why I was stressing out with the whole blurg. Everybody's excited about the blurg, and all I see is, wow, this is going to come in a over exaggerated box, because it doesn't look like that tail detaches. It looks like it's 28 inches. So then you're looking at a 40-inch size box, and then the weight, and then how much of the vinyl material they're going to use, and so forth. So when I did my blurg estimate, I was actually somewhat, I think I only estimated $35. It could probably be more than that.
No, you're gonna, for that size a box and that dimensions of the figure, you're looking at dimensional weight, not actual physical weight.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do dimensional on that shipping just for the US. Now,
so it could be more. You're saying it could probably, because I think I did conservative $35 ship when I did my video estimate on it. Then I added the tax. So I mean, I found the
underdoing that one, because that's just for the USPS. You know, local, you're looking at a surcharge. Now, if again across the country, or if that thing has to go DHL, you know, to like London or, you know, someplace else in Europe, you're talking a couple $100 shipping for the blurg set with dimensional shipping.
Hey guys, look at these pre-orders, man. They looking real nice.
Oh, is that what we're looking at? Sticking up one. Yeah.
This is my new pre-order display right now.
Is that yours? Is that yours, Nate?
No. Someone sent a picture of this to me the other day. I was like,
I was gonna say, how cute. 2 per shelf and a DTOF. Yeah, right. Yeah, 2. That's rich. If you can only put 2 figures in a DTOF, yeah, that was year 2 for me. By year 3, those things had to go.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Alvin with another one. All right, I definitely started collecting seriously during the pandemic. However, I'm still a casual collector. I buy whatever looks good. Is that sustainable?
No. Honestly,
just depends on your wallet.
I mean, you need a plan. I mean, it's as simple as this is what I want from this line, that line, or if you have a budget, you know, whether it's X dollars a month or if it's X dollars for the year, you have to have some sort of a plan. Just like life. I mean, you can just blindly go through it, but it's a lot easier with somewhat of a plan.
I think, I think you definitely need to have a more of a focus now as compared to like when I first started. You know, I just think that like when you start selling figures and you start losing, I wouldn't say you're going to lose a lot of money, but you're going to lose at least money on the taxes that you paid on that figure, right? $30, $40. You know, don't sell on eBay because that is probably the worst. And if you try to sell in the groups, they're going to use the eBay, you know, prices to sell those figures. But at the same time, it's like, how much did you really sell that figure for? What was the negotiated price at the end of the day? It's definitely not going to be like what, you know, a lot of people are saying that you're going to get out of that figure. Perfect example is Heavy Mandalorian. Everyone and their mamas was saying the Heavy Mando is going to be the next Mud Trooper. It's going to make you a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. Try selling that figure, Nate. I dare you to sell that figure. And I bet you're going to get maybe what you paid for it or a little bit less. But you're definitely not getting $400 for that figure. Definitely not. And same with the Mud Trooper. Look at the Mud Trooper now. Who wants a Mud Trooper? Nobody.
PJ, you actually bring up a good point that when you're reselling your figures on eBay, you have to factor in the tax as part of its overall value. I did not take that into account into secondary market. because for so many years I never had to worry about tax. But yeah, you bring up a good point that if a figure retails for $250 and I'm listing it on eBay, yeah, I have to actually take into account the sales tax and the shipping fee of the overall value to break even. So then that figure technically would have to sell at around what, 340, maybe 350, and that technically would be the break even price. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, again, and then you got to go through the headache. God forbid there's the buyers that's trying to like screw you, and God forbid it gets there broken, or it's just a lot of headache.
Yeah, but here's another thing I wanted to bring up. Like I'm very surprised how well this stream is coming up, especially with the idea of collecting and collectors. And that was pretty much the title of the stream. It's about what is a collector, what is a true collector, because ever since the Mark 42 and the War Machine reissue started popping off, there's been this conflict between the new guard and the old guard of collectors, and they've just been battling out for being who is the true collector. And I wanted to bring that up in the table with you guys. What makes a true collector? Because now that's a term being used now ever since
true collector.
A true collector.
A true collector is like being true to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you're collecting because you actually like this character or this figure, not because someone is telling you to buy this because you're going to miss out on something awesome. But did you have like a connection to that character? That's a true collector, in my opinion.
You collect the things that you're emotionally connected to. Yeah.
These are not like Funko Pops where you could actually spend $20 even though you don't have an emotional connection to it. Who cares? They're $20. This is a $300 figure.
Yeah.
$350. Like, you really have to make sure that who would you buy something that you don't have an emotional connection to for that price?
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me. Like,
exactly.
Yeah,
No,
and
sorry,
I'm just real quick, with the Mark 42, I don't think it was like, that was like the figure that made like, oh, what's a true collector? I think the Mark 1 War Machine really like kind of like made you like, okay, like, I don't know. It's just a weird game nowadays. Like, it's just different. I feel like the Hot Toys game, the collecting game is different now compared to before,
Well, you have new players in the arena now. As far as influencers, so
I was gonna say that. I was actually gonna say that. That was a. I totally agree with you in that one.
I also think you have a different demographic of collectors coming in because again, like the pandemic, you're having collectors that usually have the ability just to drop $250, $300 on a figure on a whim, and and that's and that's forcing and Hot Toys is seeing that and they're thinking, oh, maybe we can put more pre-orders out. Yeah, because I'm not buying. It's not a conspiracy theory, and I just think some of the reason they're putting the pre-orders up is because they do need cash. But what company doesn't need cash after after what we've been going through? So
but that's just a bad business practice, right? Like if you own like a dealership and you have like all these like Ferraris and whatever are selling right off the lot, and then you're like, well, let me just put out this car this Prius that like never really sold. Like, why would you like do that? Like what? Like it just doesn't make any sense.
I sort of see what Hot Toys is doing, but the other fact that they just after what happened with the pandemic, they want to make a little more juice for the company.
If you want to make juice, release the Mark 46. That's what you will make juice on. Not Mark 40.
It's coming.
No, it's coming. Yeah, but 42.
It could be coming tonight.
a quarter scale 42.
A quarter scale that's going to put you back. If anything, that's going to put you back. That's not going to put you ahead.
But I also think not the Mark 42, but the biggest. I know it was the most recent one, but the biggest example is the Mark 1 War Machine.
Yeah.
A lot of collectors was gunning for that, especially in the resale market, especially the plastic version. People were still selling that pretty high too. So I feel that Hot Toys was like, you know what, we can make some juice out of this and get brand new collectors in to pay even more money on other figures. Okay, so if I'm getting the War Machine Mark 1, I'm going to go in now to get the Whiplash or the Mark 5s. So it builds that incentive for new collectors that are coming in that couldn't get the War Machine Mark 1 because of the resale price. And they were like, you know what? Since I'm getting the Mark 1 War Machine, I might as well get the Whiplash. And then you know what's going to happen now? The Mark 6 is right around the corner. That's why I'm telling people, hey guys, if you got the Mark 6, sell it. Sell the Mark 6.
Sell all your Iron Man, because it's.
I sold my Mark IV last week.
You know,
Well, let's not get carried away though. The diecast 2.0s, it's what's trending. There are still a few earlier plastic versions of Iron Man that are still haven't been touched yet. That are
oh my god.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was going to say, you know, I want to bring up Eric Rodriguez's comment because there's no one definition for collecting. People collect different things for different reasons, and no one is to say they are right or wrong. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to definitely take that away from you, but you have to also think that, like, okay, why are you collecting this figure? You know, are you going to flip it in the long run? Then you're a reseller, right? Like, we're not going to open that box, you know, and things like that. We collect. I mean, I collect because either I like the figure or I like it. You have to like it, right? You know,
apparently,
if someone's telling you to like it, do you really like it? You know, so I think that's where, like, you know, Denomi brings up a great point, is that there are a lot more influencers out there compared to before that are like really encouraging you, are really positive about their reviews about picking up this figure, or maybe two. You know, maybe you want to pick up 2 Hot Toys Ray, or maybe you want to pick up the Ray from Toys Wonderland for $450.
Yeah, that's as a Hot Toys collector, not just a regular toy collector, but as a Hot Toys collector, that is unsustainable. You'll eventually tap yourself out. Yeah, and it's I intend to get most, if not all, of the Mandalorian pre-orders, but I need input. I need data. I need to know when these things are going to enter the atmosphere. I need to know shipping dates, because I'm not going to let Sideshow sit with my $50 on a Blurg set or whatever. It's $55, right?
$55.
$55 for 2 years on my $55. No, I can wait. I'll wait till it drops, or no.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for, like, you know, like Denobi said, like, the storm is coming. I can't wait to see that storm.
No, go ahead, PJ.
I was gonna say, when Marvel and Star Wars are just going neck and neck with shows, and Hot Toys is trying to keep up producing those figures. And you know, one thing with licensing is that, like, sometimes you're required to produce some, like, you know, figures for each show, right? And it's just one of those things where, like, you know, for example, for Fantastic Four, you know, who owned Fantastic Four before Marvel got it back? It was Fox, right?
Century
They had.
Fox, yeah.
Did you know that the Fox version of Fantastic Four, the last version, they actually, it was like almost like a last minute thing. It was like almost to the midnight where they were going to lose Fox was going to lose Fantastic Four unless they announced a movie. So I feel like
actually happened.
Yeah,
and it's like, it was a crappy movie. It was like forced, right? So it's just one of those things. I feel like it's the same boat with Hot Toys, like, where in terms of licensing, is that, you know, to keep their license, they have to produce a certain amount of figures for each show, and I wonder how that's going to translate when all these shows starts pumping out, and what's going to happen to other IPs that Hot Toys owns, like, I don't know, Aliens or Predator, or you know.
Well, I mean, and part of it is too, Disney is the one that's calling a lot of the shots, because Disney now owns the IP that makes Hot Toys. Well, aside from like anything DC, but Disney owns all of the major IPs that Hot Toys works with: Terminator, Predator, Aliens, Star Wars, Marvel. That's all owned by Disney. Yeah. So I mean, at this point, Hot Toys is almost a subsidiary of Disney directly now. I mean, they're their own company, but they're kind of being told by the mouse what they have to do to keep their contract.
Yeah.
Hey guys, quick thing. How do you feel about this comment from Star Child? A lot of Hot Toy YouTubers' favorite words. This is a day one pre-order. I know the Novi loves that phrase. He's like, Joe, stop that. I love it. Stop it.
Yeah.
I know. And this
especially
is a must
with Star Wars. Not everybody is restricted and civil like Aries. Like he makes it very clear in his streams, like he's not getting everything. He's enjoying the hype. He's loving it type deal. But he's made it very clear on several of his live streams, like I'm not buying everything here, folks. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
He's made that clear.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, don't.
Oh no, I heard my.
No, well, and for me, that's why I kind of like, took a little break, with some of my reviews. Even I got all like the most recent Star Wars releases. I got the day, like pretty much day one, but I really had to take a step back and really reassess like my channel and what kind of message I want to relay to like my fellow collectors, because they are my fellow collectors. And yes, I was trying to remove that day one pre-order, this is a must buy from my language that I was using whenever I did review. And now I say that if you have an emotional connection to this character, pick it up. Yeah. Because it's not fair. It's not fair for me to say, yo, you got to pick this up or you're going to miss out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like me and Nate were saying, we have no problem, like, because that's different. We'll say, yeah, we'll get it, but we're going to wait for this to happen. We're going to wait for this to happen. Whereas, like, with Hunter, like, for me personally, I love Hunter as a character because of, who he's supposed to, the different characters he homages. Yeah. Plus the armor. I love the Clone Commando armor. I love the Phase 2 clone helmet. That, for me, just for an emotional connection, is it is glorious in terms of aesthetic of what... It's like the perfect Stormtrooper, Clone Trooper armor in the Star Wars universe, for me. I have as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I have to, because again, I love the Clone Commandos. I like Hunter. I like Billy, Rambo, all that. So, like, for me, for myself, that was a must, day one pre-order. I moved things around, so I wouldn't have to be out of pocket that much, and, dumped vast majority of my points on it. So even now, yeah, they have my $25, but when it's time to pay, I only got to pay like $120 on it. And then I'm just going to wait until I get more points and coupons, and I'll grab Echo. And even if they do the other three, I'm probably not going to grab them, because that's the only two characters I really... Like, Wrecker's cool, but don't have the same connection as with, like, Hunter and then Echo. And then you add them in with Rex in a display. Just the three of them, almost like a new trinity.
Yeah, that whole Bad Batch situation there, that is so that's very borderline the Justice League. There's no guarantee that you'll get all those characters.
Oh my gosh.
I'm feeling the same way. I am feeling the same way. Like I'm hopeful that we might get the whole batch team, but I doubt it. The only other two that we might get is Wrecker and the kid Omega. So Omega, maybe
I don't know if we're gonna even get the kid, but can I share a picture real quick?
Yeah, sure.
This is a perfect example of what Hot Toys might do to us with the Bad Batch.
What are you doing, bro? No, not like this. Not like this. Oh, no. My heart.
Yeah.
My pearls.
Yeah. I mean, not to say that, like,
it's real. Yeah.
If they do that, oh my goodness. Yeah, Omega won't happen. I don't think Omega won't happen.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, for Baze, I would not be surprised if they somehow work him back into the Andor show. So I potentially see that as a possible back-end release for him.
Yeah. I'm not... Well, Cyborg, they should have capitalized on Cyborg when the hype was high, but
when the tentpole was up, they missed out on that. They would have done. No, there's just no guarantee. But I don't trust Star Wars. I made that very clear. I don't
Well,
trust.
let me ask you a question though. No, and it's just this isn't specific to Star Wars. Now, all right. So say Hot Toys, and again, this is an example from a real situation. All right. So say Hot Toys, they make a prototype for movie one. It's a villain. Something bad happens. They don't, in the movie, but they don't end up producing it. Send a couple years down the line, same character, he shows up again in the same franchise. Would Hot Toys potentially revive that prototype again? And the reason I bring that up, it's kind of been confirmed through Evangeline Lilly. She tweeted a picture of the Ant-Man 3 script. Darren Cross is back as Ant-Man, as Yellow Jacket. Would Hot Toys potentially revive that prototype?
That's right. I don't think they've ever done that. They've never in the history of, once they've teased their prototype and then it disappears for several years, it's gone. My God. I mean, I can go down a list on that. Hell, how many C-3POs? How many C-3POs have we seen at San Diego Comic-Con?
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's like the most disgusting thing I've ever seen that Hot Toys has ever done. And that's not release a 3PO to go with.
Versions. They've teased 3 different prototypes. I know. I have the photos. I was there. I saw it in person. The red arm, the Attack of the Clones with the silver. They teased him, and then they teased the New Hope. They've teased 3 different prototype versions. But that being said, they've also teased Luke, the Bespin Luke. They've teased. Have they ever teased Han Solo Bespin? I think they have. Haven't
no.
They?
No.
Han Solo. They
photos and for kind of
for Bespin Leia
stuff.
But,
yeah, but never in person and never full shots.
Never in the cons.
But they've done it in the blog photos. I've recall seeing
only side shots. They've never done the full reveal.
Okay.
It's only like implications, like it's
Okay. That could be a Harrison Ford thing. He has control over his image, and he's crabby. Everybody knows he has a I don't want to say this word, but he's a prick in Hollywood. Harrison Ford.
Oh yeah,
he's very hard to work with. He's very controlling. The whole Indiana. I mean, he's very. He's. I was there. I'll give you a perfect example. I was at the live event when Jon Favreau had everybody from the film Aliens and Cowboys. You guys remember that movie?
Alien Cowboys. Yep.
Okay, I was there. I was in that audience, and Jon Favreau had everybody from the film, and Harrison Ford was in this film too. Do you guys remember that? Aliens and Cowboys and Aliens.
Yep.
The general.
He went out there. He sat. He smiled. He took a couple shots and he was out, while everybody else in that film was stuck there answering questions and stuff. That was my biggest eye opener. I'm like, wow, he really is a prick. Yeah, I mean, those were fans. Those were people that were camping out. Like, I remember camping out for 4.5 hours to see that whole cast of Cowboys and Aliens. This is what, 2012 or 13. I was out there camping out, and he shows up, and the only reason he showed up was because he was contractually obligated for press.
Promo press tour.
He did 3 photos, I think 3 or 4. Did the videos out there, and he was gone. He did not answer one question. That's Harrison Ford for you. So he may be controlling his image. So we may never get another Han Solo. I'm thinking that Han Solo that we got back in 2016. I'm thinking his wife, Callista Flockhart, may have signed the release while he was sleeping or something. He's like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you got to remember his Jimmy Kimmel, his meltdown where he destroyed a New Hope Solo on live TV.
Speaking of,
that was not a skit. That was somebody's own personal copy.
Yep.
So
explain what happened. So did this?
Yeah.
So was it like this? Were you like that?
No.
This one. It's like, you have a $500 figure.
Okay, that one.
Yeah. We're here to talk about this one.
Okay.
This one.
That one
they
was
dislocated the ankle.
Here it is.
Forward.
Oh my God.
Hey, that's worth a lot of money. That's
Yeah.
the original.
And then they broke his leg.
Oh, I get it. Hey,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, he's freaking out because he knows it. Yeah, he's serious. Jimmy Fallon was that was real reactions from him, by the way. That was an expensive because what year was
That
this
was
video?
somebody from his staff.
Yeah, what year was this video when it was when he? Because I remember this clip.
2016, 2015. It was right after. It was after Force Awakens came out.
It was no. It was it after? So this figure was already in high demand value. If it was during the Force
Because it was
Awakens,
explaining his injury from the set when the door fell on him.
okay.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, that figure was worth. He's right. That figure was worth all it is now. But at the time, it had already blown up in the secondary market. Yeah, I remember that. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
I was like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah. So he doesn't. He doesn't care. He doesn't.
Like he actually seems like he honestly hates.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know,
he doesn't. He doesn't care. So everybody who hopes for the best in Han, I'll believe it when I see it because I'm pretty positive he has the exact same clout as Robert Downey Jr. Nothing goes, without his approval. Pretty much, as he controls his image. So, like I said, that figure, he was probably sleeping, and his wife, Calissa Flockhart signed it when he wasn't looking, so that they can get paid.
Yeah, it's a shame.
You should have won that.
He doesn't care about any. Look at this. Look what he's doing. That's insane.
But
he doesn't
that's
care.
old man rage. That's like
it's
like,
and he
what are
did
you
the same
looking at,
thing.
Peasant.
Yeah, he did the same thing too with the Millennium Falcon Lego. Like he dropped it or something like that.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
He hates.
He's at that age. He's super rich. He just doesn't care.
But here's the thing: is that like he doesn't like Star Wars, but then he likes Indiana Jones because he'll do like 10 Indiana Jones over like 2 Star Wars movies.
That's because he had more creative reign on that. I'm almost positive that's what it was.
Yeah,
him and Steven, he would suggest something. Hell, I just saw an article on Harrison today where Steven did not want him to run in front of that boulder. And Harrison goes, I want to run in front of that boulder. And Steven let him run in front. The boulder chase, Steven Spielberg did not want to he goes, I want to use a double. It's dangerous. And he goes, no, I want to run in front of the boulder. And he let him do it. Because he was like that. He was able to have a little bit more creative reign over that. Versus George Lucas, he's controlling.
I think wasn't he a producer, an executive producer on Last Crusade, and then everything since? So at this point, he's got money into the project as well.
Yeah, and he also had points too on the Indiana Jones Chronicle too. So he has something vested with that short-lived TV series as well too. Maybe that's why it's not being broadcasted anymore or something. Because every time that was playing, he'd get a cut out of that from every episode, regardless if he was in it or not. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that TV show? The young Indiana Jones Chronicle?
That, River Phoenix?
No, the TV show. From the 90s?
The young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
Yeah, he was part of that. Look at that crap. Look at that. Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
And that's real like I want to shoot you.
Yeah. So you have so we've pretty much blacklisted the classic characters, right? Mark Hamill doesn't care. Carrie Fisher's passed away. Kenny Baker is gone. Peter Mayhew is gone. The only one that wants their figure to be made is Anthony Daniels, and nobody wants to make an Anthony Daniels C-3PO figure. So that's it for the classic trilogy, right?
Except Lando for a long time, yeah.
For maybe Lando, but I think he signed his release, but I don't think he was aware that what he was signing. He's gone. Like, have you seen some of the interviews with the actor Billy
some
Williams?
Of his landings?
He's on medication. I saw one recently when he was promoting the Rise of Skywalker. He was on medication. You can see him. I'm like, you could. It's kind of like Stan Lee. Yeah, remember Stan Lee? Remember the rumors with Stan Lee? People were putting papers in front of him because they knew he was out the door, so they were making him sign all these releases and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, like Harrison Ford, he still has an active pilot's license. He still goes up and he still flies. And you see some of his landings, like he's going into major international airports. He's trying to land in the taxiway between a 707 and a 737. And he's in a little Piper Scout or a little Cessna turboprop. The dude doesn't know literally his left runway from his right one way.
Yeah. So and then who do you so then for the prequel sequels, you have
Hayden
Finn.
Sora. Yeah.
You have Rey, and I think
prequel sequels. Oh, yeah.
the prequel sequels. They've turned the actors have turned their backs on the property. What's the actor's name who plays Finn? He doesn't care.
John
Boyega.
Boyega.
John Boyega, he's done. He's sour.
No, he said he'd come back.
Yeah.
He made another statement. He said he'd be willing to come back.
Yeah. Well, because he's not, because nobody else in Hollywood is offering him any work. Of course he's going to come back, you know. And then Daisy Ridley, her last film
said she'll
tanked.
come back.
Yeah, of course she'll come back. Her last film tanked, the one with Spider-Man. And that alien world.
Tomlinson, right? No, not Tomlinson. Freaking damn.
That where the words pop up in their heads in the word boxes, or the psychic thing. Yeah.
So it's funny how they always come back to Star Wars after they threw a hissy fit because nobody else wants to give them any work. So that's why Ewan McGregor, right, has always been loyal to Star Wars. He talks about he had fun playing with lightsabers on the set, and he talks about and then he was caught. And then he'd always tell the story that he was scolded by George because every time he'd shoot a laser blaster, he would make the pew pew noises and the lightsaber noises, and he's always been a loyal, even though the films weren't that great, he's always been loyal to the prequels. So
yeah, he has been. Yeah,
and he's loved. I mean, he's kind of, you know, the actor Ewan McGregor falls in the same category as Hugh Jackman. They're so multi-talented. They're so talented in music and dance and serious comedy and so forth that they've been able to build that foundation of loyalty. Especially Ewan McGregor, he loves challenging roles. Same thing with Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman likes, you know, he's won, you know, Tony Awards. He's done Broadway. He's done serious roles. He's done, you know, comedies and things like that, and
like musicals,
Chaos Walking. That's what
Chaos
it was.
Walking. Yeah,
Chaos Walking.
Chaos Walking. So
you know she's doing voice work right now.
Who is? Daisy Ridley.
Daisy Ridley. Yeah, she's doing voice work now.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, so this Obi-Wan series is gonna be very, very successful. If it's the same write and duo team, yeah, it's gonna do very, very well. People love the Star Wars community. We love Ewan McGregor. He's phenomenal. He's a great Obi-Wan.
He is. And the fact that, like, you know, he's going to do this show is going to be pretty awesome just because I'm telling you, this show is going to, like, really.
Dude, this is going to drop so many hot toys. Yeah. They're going to drop so many hot toys.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Get your wallets ready.
It's gonna be good. Yeah, no, get your wallets ready. Absolutely, get your wallets ready.
So get your reissues ready. Yeah. It's happening.
Well, you guys are doing backflips for the Book of Boba. I'm more concerned about Obi-Wan and the characters he's gonna meet and so forth.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna. Yeah.
So, you know, for me, my strategy is trying to hang in there with the amount of Star Wars figures that they're probably going to release. I mean, it's a lot. It seriously is a lot. I mean, I'm going to do my best to hang in there, but I'm scared to the point where, you know, I'm going to get to the point where I need to sell some Star Wars figures to keep going.
Wait, aren't you moved? Are you still going to collect 1/6? I thought you were going to go with statues now.
I've always been collecting statues, but I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to hang in there with the amount of Hot Toys releases. I really completely, like, shun Marvel Hot Toys out of my collecting habits. I had to. I shunned Marvel, DC, all those figures, all those licenses I used to collect back then. I took them out because I can't keep up with it.
Yeah, it's a full-time job. No, he's right. It's a full-time job to, especially if you want, because man, there's a lot of Star Wars pre-orders that you really need to think 3 times about passing up. You know, like I keep talking about the obscure characters like the Tusken Raider. I don't have the Tusken Raider on pre-order, but I definitely will be getting him because it's one of those characters that can branch multiple IPs. Those type of characters, you know, and so yeah, you don't want to miss out the clone troopers from the Royal Guard. I mean, there's a lot. There's a ton. There's a ton of characters. Yeah.
But you know, for me, it's like I have a feeling if I were to start selling some of my Star Wars figures, it would probably be the troopers. Like I don't need like 1,000 troopers in my
How,
collection.
Yeah.
how dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My prediction, and I told this to Aries, my prediction is that we're gonna be flooded with a lot of pre-order cancels when their collectors are asked to step up to the plate.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then there's gonna be dead stock. And then that's my strategy. That's my pre-order strategy, that I'm gonna come in and I'll be able to then scour the retailers that have the stuff discounted or sitting on the shelves, because that's my plan. Because I do want a lot of the Star Wars characters. Like, to PJ's defense, it's a lot. It's going to be a lot of space. You think about it, 30 Star Wars just right now, not counting Boba Fett or Obi-Wan. Let's say PJ gets 30 or I get the 30 figures. You do the math. How many DTOFs? If you're just using DTOF, how many DTOFs would you need? You figure 30. I mean, that's what, 3 or 4 DTOFs alone to display them respectfully without making them seem like they're getting jammed into a subway.
What's jammed? 4? Four is
Sardines.
jammed, right?
3. The 3. Well,
sardine
the rule
collection.
of thumb, and I don't know. The rule of thumb when I was collecting, and people, I remember, used to leave me comments. It was 3. It was 3, dependent on the diorama display that you had. You know, like the Iron Man's, like the they would take up all this space, so then you would have to then adapt. So, okay, if you're going to put the display with an Iron Man, there would be 2 inside the shelf of a 12 by 12 up on a DTOF. And if you're not going to use a diorama, then you can do 3. And then if you start to do 4, depending on the character height and so forth, it's going to look crowded. It's going to look like you're starting to show them, especially if you're doing 4, 4, 4, 4. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. The light, the whole light diffusion on the strips doesn't bounce off right, because you have to understand that those light strips do work from up and down and so forth to make it look right. So I don't know. For me, it was 3. And then when I got to, and I'm guilty of that, when I switched to the modular cases, I was packing them 4, and it did not look good. And I was actually embarrassed. I'm like, these are $300 figures, and I'm jamming them into a $60 glass shelf, and it wasn't looking right. It just wasn't.
It's kind of like the same way, you know, with kind of like, you know, owning exotic pets like snakes or reptiles are like high. Not to that point, but to like something doable, except tigers. You know, people be buying like $400 snakes or $500 reptiles, and they have like a $50 like house for it or whatever you call it. I'm like, why are you doing that? That's not good for the animal. That is not good for the animal. You gotta, and that's pretty much sort of the same way with Hot Toys. Is that if you're gonna spend $300 on a Hot Toy, you gotta have and several of them, you gotta have the proper displays, you know, to show them off.
Yeah, and you know, and I complain about the Blurg, the 2-pack with the quill. I'm not going to pre-order him. I'm going to wait till it drops in Hong Kong so I can make my move. But I think about a year out. Okay, where's this thing going to go? Where's it going to display? How is it going to manage? You know, it's not going to look. I know people are like, oh, just put it on top of a DTOF. I go, that's not going to look that good on a DTOF. I'm telling you that right now. Just put it on top of it. I'm telling you right now. I have the tape measures. I've created visual simulations. Putting that Blurg on top of a DTOF is not going to work. It's not going to look good. Tail's going to protrude. So I think about all that stuff. You know, I think about the space, the speeder bike, all of that. All of that.
That's actually good, because a lot of people, like, you know, what they do is like they just pick up the you know, like the 2-pack or whatever, and you know, it's like they forget like how big that thing is, and it's like, and then what ends up happening is that it ends up just sitting in the box for a long time till, you know, they're like, you know what, it doesn't fit, I gotta sell it. But you know what, you bring up a great point, Denobi, is that I think you said it earlier before I came on, is that towards the end of the year, that's when Hot Toys is just going to go ballistic with trying to catch up with all these pre-orders that, you know, that they haven't dropped yet. And I'm scared for the people that are looking to pick up everything,
get started, man. Because I've pretty much been preparing myself for this. So, you know, now, you know, I've gotten some viewers that are just starting out, and they've been talking about, yeah, man, I just started collecting this, collecting that. I hope you're ready for the storm. because it's
Yeah.
gonna get wild. It's gonna get wild. And we've only seen Star Wars right now. Just wait, like you've been saying, Paradox. Just wait for Marvel's resurgence.
Oh yeah, and you know what? You just have to think. Yeah, for me, what I used to pay attention last year with the amount of releases that they were still releasing during the pandemic, a lot of them didn't have portraits, right? Why did the Mandalorian and the Child get released so early? Why did the OG Mando get released so early? Because there's no portraits involved. You know, I'm gonna see. I want to see like what they're gonna release towards the end of the year, and if they have portraits or are they reissues of portraits? Because if you look at the mall, the Clone Wars mall, that is a reissue of the Solo mall in terms of the portrait. You know.
So what we're looking at here, I have not updated this in a while, but these are Star Wars pre-orders that have not shipped to the U.S. So I
look at all that. It's all helmeted figures.
All helmeted figures. I don't know. Can you see, can you see the dates on there, the projected dates, the retail price? So this is the stuff, you know. Now I know like the Heavy Mandalorian's been released, but at the time I put the word ship there. But yeah, like the Death Watch, we have start from the top here. The quarter scale Mandalorian. Now the Grogu Child did get released already, but I need to kind of go back and update this because we've had a lot more. So yeah, I can subtract some of these from U.S. shipments, but I can also add more. It's like all these helmeted, like all these to me they look great. Like the assault tank. I mean, all that stuff looks great to me. I'm like, but my God, I mean, so just look at the dates on there. The projected dates, the January 20, the Lando, the Moff Gideon, this right here, you can see the 501st Battalion Clone Trooper, the Ahsoka Tano. These right here at the end, this is where my projected storm is, October, when these things will start to hit. This is a lot right here. October is definitely, if you look at the October drops, wasn't Rex. Rex was delayed. This was all, this whole fall right here, the Corsican Guard, the 501st Clone Trooper, the Deluxe, Ahsoka Tano, the Darth Maul, which Darth Maul is the Clone Wars Darth Maul.
But can I point out something? Look at all the portraits, right? Besides the Moff Gideon and the Ahsoka. But look at all the portraits. Most of them are reissued portraits. Look at them all. Look at the Luke, the Snowspeeder Luke. That is a reissue of the Return of the Jedi portrait.
Is it really?
Yes.
I didn't even. Oh, it is. You're right.
It's a different hair
suit. Different. Yeah, he's wearing the suit. So you're buying the suit. Yeah, is what you're doing. Yeah.
And look how many. And to me, that was when I was paying attention to all these announcements and releases. I was like, what is going on? What happened to all these portraits? Right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to count Kylo Ren and Rey because that was announced like 2 or almost 3 years ago, right? But look at all those releases: Troopers, a Mandalorian, Tusken Raider that didn't need. It's like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah,
it's easy releases. Releases. The Tank Trooper, the Transport Trooper, they already had the mold from the Tank Trooper that they announced, which they released, right? Assault Tank Commander. Boba Fett was a reissue. Lando was different, but Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon, yeah.
But Moff was like that portrait is,
Moff Gideon will be the new Krennic. I promise you that right now.
Oh, it will be, but I'm just saying, like
the portrait. It'll be the new Krennic. Yeah.
The portrait was, okay. Temuera Morrison, I feel like they reused that portrait like a bunch of times, just repainted it differently. But that's what I'm noticing is a lot of troopers, a lot of helmeted figures.
So it's around fall, depending on when it gets released. in Hong Kong, and then it starts to ship. So that's where I'd always joke with Aries. You can take it off now, Nate. Yeah, that's where I was joking with. That's where I was joking with Nate. Oh, and that list there doesn't have the blurg. That's an old list. I need to go back in and add the blurg and all that stuff, and the whole Bad Batch. But that's just kind of like a sample. That's why I said Christmas is going to suck for a lot of people. I'm
getting 2 blurgs. I'm getting the Quill with the blurg, and I'm getting the OG Mantle with the blurg, Blackbird.
So wouldn't that suck? Wouldn't that suck if this stuff starts to drop in Hong Kong in October, and then come the holiday season when we're all trying to get our loved ones Christmas, schlock, and then we got to deal with these pre-order drops? That'll piss me off. That's a lot, right?
Well, no Christmas gifts for anybody in my family.
I mean,
except for me.
and then it gets better. That's assuming that you're getting the Star Wars pre-orders plus what EndGame crap that's been delayed, right? Because I still have EndGame pre-orders back from 2019 that haven't shipped yet. Iron Patriot and so forth, and all these other figures. I wanted
to ask you, I remember in your Mark 7 review unboxing, you said that you were thinking of getting a second Mark 7 just to create the pod moment.
Yes.
Did you ever do that? Because
I did.
Mark 7 is already sold out.
Did it sell out for real?
Yeah, it finally sold out.
Today?
This week. It was like last week was like I think it was in the weekend. Monday. It happened on Monday.
Monday was official. I think Monday officially went. Waitlisted. No more.
Oh, okay. Well, so it's just in waitlist. So it's not okay. No, I did end up getting it. Yeah, I did end up getting
the EX version that was sold out before it even got in stock. So it's just the basic version.
Yeah.
Went on waitlist.
So one of the most exciting pre-orders that I'm looking forward to, and I'm actually, since it's Marvel, I'm actually considering picking up, is the Miles Morales from the animated movie. I think that's going to be one of the, I don't know, if they release it this year, it might be the figure of the year, just because if you look at that figure, it comes with a lot of stuff, especially for like that price. I think it was $265. I'm curious to see like if that's going to release this year around like Christmas time.
I had to cancel them, but
really,
I had to pick and choose because I still have like 3 other of the Spider-Verse, and luckily because I have them through Alter Ego, they don't collect the non-refundable deposit, so it's I have to pick and choose with the Spider-Verse because I had to anticipate what Spider-Man 3 is going to bring. So unfortunately,
Oh my!
So that's how I think. If anybody wants to know, I always think 1 year ahead, right?
I mentioned that. Oh my gosh, Nate, are you going to collect all those Spider-Man when they release? And the Sinister Six?
Yeah. So it's not. I don't hate Miles Morales.
God bless you, man.
Priorities. If that makes any sense.
God bless. Well, God bless Nate, because he's going to get.
Don knows what I'm talking about. You have to set priorities. You got to plan for this stuff at least a year out. And Miles Morales had to take the bullet so that I can get more Spider-Man.
Yeah, over there. I have another China display case just for Marvel coming up next year, so I'm prepared. Like this one's right now for Star Wars. So once I get this situated, the other China cabinet is going to be straight up Marvel, especially with those Spider-Mans. But yeah, guys, right here. Funk just said, makes me wonder if all the U.S. collectors waiting for the figures to drop in Hong Kong before pre-ordering is adding to the delay. I don't think that's the issue. I
think there's just, it's not only Hot Toys. There's a lot of companies that's playing catch up now, right? Because I think everyone's back to work. I think I was watching the news the other day. I think there's like 93 million jobs opening now. So I think everything's kind of opening back up, and people are trying to play catch up with their companies and producing stuff. So
somebody else told me that too, that I need to factor that in. Was it from this group? Maybe it was Aries. We're so used to everything being so delayed that what happens when they catch up? And they're like, "Hey guys, we caught up, so now we're gonna drop all the pre-orders." And that's what I've been trying to elaborate on. That there could be a 30-day period where they decide to catch up with everything, and then you're hit with 5 or 6 pre-order drops, meaning they're ready to ship in a 30-day period. So then what happens? Oh, you know what? I do remember recounting this simulation, because I remember telling this to Aries. I remember telling this story to Aries, where that's what's going to kill the market. That's what's going to kill the pre-order market, and then you're going to have all the newbie collectors tapping out. They're like, you're dropping 5 Star Wars in the next 3 weeks. Sorry, that's it. Tap out. That's it. Right, Nate? Nate? I don't want to see you. Are you? Don't practice, Nate, for next year. Don't be. Because I hear Nate be like, those 2 words. I gotta bring it down to quill. I gotta bring it down.
And I'm sure Denobi. He survived. Denobi survived because like one thing with Hottoys and a lot of companies, they go in storms, right? Like, and Denobi and I probably survived a bunch of storms. I've never seen a storm like this. This is almost like hurricane. This is like a Hurricane Sandy that, like, it was almost like a super hurricane that's forming up. Yeah, and I'm just
the perfect storm.
That's what I see. I have to go, folks. But that's what I see. That is my worst case scenario that I'm running in the Star Trek holodeck. That they finally catch up, and we'll know it, and it won't be a secret, because we're all going to talk about it. I'll see Nate, it'll be one stream in January. I'll see it from Nate, and it'll be like, I gotta get rid of the blurgs,
No, it's going to be Nate.
I'll see it from Don Prime. Don Prime will be like, I don't have any more space in my module cases. We'll see it from everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, no, I can't buy that that stormtrooper that
and I'm just sitting back here. I just have 12 pre-orders. I don't need all these things. I'm only getting what I want.
Yeah. How about Pete Aries? We'll see him on 60 Cantina. He's like, I'm going back to Black Series. I can't.
Or you see Nate actually on the Facebook Marketplace selling his Funko Pops finally.
We'll see those.
No. Nate's gonna go. Nate's gonna just take up residence at the place where you can sell your blood, and he's permanently gonna have one of those IVs attached. Turn on the tap. Blood for Hot Toys.
Yeah, and think about it. Think about it. Let's say in March they catch up. You're getting the 3 notifications from Sideshow, and one of those notifications is that $500 Boba Fett set. Talk about hangover. Talk about going out in traffic and looking for that nearest bus. And you have 3 orders in a 30-day period, and one of those is the Boba Fett 2-pack. I promise you that Boba Fett 2-pack.
But the Boba Fett 2-pack and the Bo-Katan. No, but here it is, Denobi. Boba Fett 2-pack, and the what's that called? The Bo-Katan and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true. They would go beyond, bro. Before hell yeah, no man, that's gold, baby. That's plastic gold.
I'll you know what? I'll when that and I'm it'll be like a storm. You'll see everybody like it's no, they're gonna catch up. That's the scary part. We know Hot Toys will catch up. When's it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen this year? I don't think it'll happen this year. My prediction is the second quarter of next year. That's when they'll catch up. That's when all the drops.
I feel like they're gonna really start pumping out these figures right before the next Chinese New Year, before the factories close again. Because usually, after the Chinese New Year, we have like that we have that break after. We usually have that. Usually after the Chinese New Year, like we usually have that break from Hot Toys where they don't put out any figures for like a month or 2. Now we're stretching it for like 4 months now, so it's good. It's gonna catch up, man.
I'm gonna get him, and he's gonna be on the live stream, and he's gonna be like, I told you so. I told you. Didn't listen.
I gotta get me one of those.
You motherfucker! You didn't listen to me. You didn't listen to the number 2, did you? Shoot.
Oh my god! A surprise guest.
What's his name again?
This is Baby Goo Goo.
Baby Goo Goo. Baby Goo Goo.
He is the generic offspring of Baby Grogu.
Oh my gosh!
Look, he even has the stick underneath the neck.
I didn't know if that was a cut or if he was trying to go for some like chin fur or something.
Baby Goo Goo.
Baby Goo Goo.
Are you gonna be doing? You're gonna be hijacking collector streams that are canceling the pre-orders.
I'm gonna have this guy here. I'm gonna have him host a live stream with Pete Aries next year. He's like, and he's gonna be like, "Number 2 warned you, didn't he? You didn't listen. You didn't listen." He said, "All right." And what was it? Was it? I say yes.
Oh my God.
All right.
Baby Goo Goo.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh God.
I'll have him hosting a live stream because I can't. I'll be like, I told you so. So I'll have to bring him as a mediator, and he'll host some live streams because he's like, I can't keep up with the blur. People will be like, I'm scared. The mascara running down their neck, their eyes, and talking about I had a pre-order canceled before.
No, that's single tear. That's single tear in solidarity.
Oh, my glasses are shattering.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Cancels.
I'm going to tell you. I'm picking on Pete. Pete, if you're watching, I love you, dude. If he's watching, but I'm going to tell you right now that Boba Fett 2-pack. That's going to be Sideshow coupon. That's going to be a coupon. That's going to sit on the shelves. I don't care how much love, because the minute the Book of Boba hits, you guys are all going to be running to the new Boba with Bib Fortuna and the whole Jabba's Denzian gang, and I'll be one of them. And that broke ass Boba Fett from season 2 Mandalorian, that's going to sit. That's going to wait, because we got the Book of Boba now. He has brand new armor.
You know what? Well, you know what? Who knows? They might release the clean armor then. Right? They might release a clean armor, maybe with the throne, if they were smart.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to speculate that Boba Fett, because he's a king now, a palace, right? He's a lord, and he's going to get a suit upgrade like the Mandalorian, hint, hint, because his suit will probably evolve in the same manner as the Mandalorian. Talk about a kick to the balls there.
Well, here's the thing.
What's going to happen, Nate? You know what's
going to happen?
I can't wait.
I'm going to predict it. Is that like when the Book of Boba is about to be released, and then they already got a good amount of pre-orders for this Boba Fett 2-pack. That's when they're going to announce clean Boba on the throne.
With Beskar armor. Boba's going to get some of that Beskar armor. He's going to be kind of like, some of that Beskar Boba armor. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, I'll take one shot for you.
Pre-order. Oh,
I'll take one shot for you, all right?
I got
Oh, my God.
Gotta go.
Yep, gotta
go.
Later, bro.
Later, Kenobi. Later. Oh, my gosh. Don Prime. Nate,
all right.
Thanks for having me on the show, man.
All right.
Yeah, man. Good to see that you were able to pop
streaming at 4 o'clock in the morning. I looked at my.
Don't live at some place where it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
I woke up this morning. I got a notification. I'm like, is this like for real? I'm like, what the freak? All right. Have a good one, guys. Peace out.
Later.
Thanks. See ya.
Take it easy, bro. Nah, like hell, man. I was like I said, freaking OG fan trying to take me out yesterday. Because he knew I had like 2 glasses of Bacardi and Coke, and the mics, the mics over here, 2 shots of already of the Bacardi, and then he was like, "Do 5 more, $4. Here we go." I'm like, okay, if you, it's free money. I'm just kidding.
All right, brother. I actually gotta get going, as well. So,
all right, bro. Actually, this is ended right now. All right, guys, it was a lot of fun. I appreciate everyone coming in, and it was a good stream. Shots, everybody. But anyway, guys, take it easy, y'all. Drink responsibly. Do not unbox Hot Toys drunk, because things can happen. Leave it to the professionals like me. All right, guys, take it easy, and may the force be with you always.
Later.